My mic seems low. Good morning, everybody. Outfield for love or for your love or something like that. As I was watching the Pats over the weekend, my team, the Pats. I love the Patriots.
Yeah, me too. That was a great weekend of football. I was so happy.
They were playing that at Foxborough. They seem to really like that song up there. So there you go for the Patriots fans out there.
They're dynamite.
Big win. Big win by Brady and the boys.
I was happy, too, because, the Patriots Colts, it's like one of those things you just never see. So I'm really happy to. It's nice. Real relief to get something new.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen it differently, but there you go. What do you think? Brady's got this, right? Brady's got this over Andrew Luck? Travis?
Oh, it's been, 10 years since he's won a Super Bowl?
They haven't. They have a fine team this year. Has it really been 10 years now?
I believe so, yeah.
They've lost 2, right?
Yes.
They've lost 2 Super Bowls, and they've won 2 with Brady, no? Is that I think that's the deal.
Let me see the last time.
I don't want to lose your love tonight. That was an amazing play. Did you watch the game? Did you watch the Pats game?
I watched a lot of football this weekend, and I was kind of pulling for the Colts.
Yeah.
I'm for Baltimore.
Baltimore? Indianapolis, you mean?
Yeah. No, who did Baltimore lose to?
Oh, Baltimore, you're
Baltimore lost to the Patriots.
Yeah, I wanted Baltimore to win, but I was like, I wasn't so invested in it that I was going to throw a water bottle against the wall and hurt my right arm again. But, I did want to see them pull it out.
That's just a weird thing to say.
Why?
I'm just saying, I wanted to see Baltimore win, but I also respected Brady's, it was just an awesome performance.
What about the trick play?
The trickery?
The little trickery was...
it's legal.
Did that make you really mad, Travis?
No, because it's legal. And you know what? I would expect nothing less from Bill Belichick. That's what makes him a genius head coach.
Right. That was a great play. That was very exciting. What's his name? Through to what's his name? I already forgot their names.
I'm glad the Patriots are advancing and not.
No, you're not.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry. I stopped you before I could hear the sarcasm.
Yeah. So now I either have to root for the team that just beat my team or the team that fled my city overnight.
Right. So that's a tough call. Who do you pick? Who do you pick on that one?
The NFC.
Yeah. All right. And then, of course, Des Bryant. I guess they
didn't watch the Golden Globes. I didn't see the Golden Globes.
I tried. I'll be honest with you. I tried, and then I was like, "Why am I watching this?" Sam probably watched the whole damn thing.
Yeah, I did.
I tried, and then I'm like,
most of it.
What am I doing?
That's a happier subject. Let's talk about the Golden Globes. That was a fun, happy.
We're gonna get to Des Bryant in a few minutes.
Now we can talk about that.
Where's Florentine? Because he's a big football guy.
I think he's taking his shit.
All right, as soon as Florentine's done with his shit, we'll talk about Des Bryant.
Yeah, I was just kidding. I was just watching it on the news.
Well, there's a couple things about the Golden Globes, I guess. What was I watching? Every year I go, why am I watching this?
It's just a typical award show. I mean, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler did a good job, but...
They did an okay job.
They did a really good job.
They did an okay job. The Cosby stuff was pretty funny. They were a little brave with the Cosby stuff. They were doing Cosby. They were doing really bad Cosby impressions, which obviously was part of the bit. And about putting the pills in the what?
In the people.
In the people. Putting the pills in the people.
In the people.
It's pretty funny.
Is this it?
The pills
in the funny.
Are they getting any heat on this today?
A lot of people are talking about
it. Pills in the people.
Yeah, that's a tough gig. So for them to do as well as they did, that's a very good job.
Yeah, because it's a room that doesn't want to listen to comedy.
Yeah.
They just don't want to. And then Ricky Gervais just showing he doesn't give any fucks whatsoever. He was great. Did you guys see the Ricky Gervais thing?
Yeah.
I did not.
He was hinting at just beating the shit out of everybody and then was trying to be a nice boy.
He just keeps going. And you think he's done, and then he just keeps going some more.
Right.
He's great.
All right, here's the Cosby thing.
And anybody can into the woods. It's a weird word to sing, I'm not going to lie to you. Into the woods, Cinderella runs from her prince. Rapunzel is thrown from a tower for her prince. And Sleeping Beauty just thought she was getting coffee with Bill Cosby. Actually...
See the moans?
I don't know if you guys saw this on the news today, but Bill Cosby has finally spoken out about the allegations against him. Cosby admitted to a reporter, "I put the pills in the people. The people did not want the pills in them." No, Tina, right. That's not right. It's more like, I got the pills in the bathroom, but I put them in the people.
You're right. It's got to be like, I put the pills in the hoagie.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's it. That's fair. That seems fair. But finally, Tina.
Good for them.
Yeah. That was funny. That absolutely was funny. It is a tough gig because I like both those people a lot, and it's just tough because they don't the crowd doesn't give them enough fucking reaction because they're all sitting there just full of themselves.
Aren't they at tables though, as opposed to
they're
the
at tables? They're drinking. They're probably
also
in the back. They're probably snorting fucking cocaine off the table,
and they can't be seen on camera laughing at the wrong thing.
Lena Dunham said, "Fuck that. That's funny," and she was laughing. Good for her.
Oh, she'll do anything.
Have you had it with her?
No, I don't even. I know almost nothing about Lena Dunham other than I just hear her name pop up in these stories.
She will do anything. And then our boy Jeffrey Tambor got a lot of tweets about Jeffrey Tambor last night.
Your boy?
Our boy Jeffrey Tambor, who can't take a fucking joke.
Seemed like he won the Golden Globe in spite of you, not because he's your boy.
Well, if you read my Twitter feed, that's what you would think.
Yeah.
I think we gave him a very good...
we gave him a good interview. We didn't have an issue with Jeffrey Tambor. I was kind of bummed that he didn't go with a few of our little jokes. We were trying to make it a little light. And he was really mad. He really wanted to get this message out there.
It was an awkward interview. It was very, very uncomfortable.
Yeah, but Jeffrey, that was his fault because he's the guy that comes in and goes, "You look stupid. Hey,
right.
What are you, dumb?"
Right.
And then you say something like, "Yeah, I fucked a tranny. You're a pig."
Right.
Oh, geez, sorry,
True.
fucking arbiter of what's appropriate.
Well,
I didn't realize it was. And you asked a fair question. Do you think you look good? That's a question a guy would ask. It's like, don't all of a sudden act like you've been a fucking activist your whole life.
Right.
However,
I was very confused by that because Jimmy just nailed it. He comes in here and just busts balls like really in a really funny way.
Very funny, yeah.
He's brutal. He's kind of like a Tim Conway type of guy.
Yeah.
And then we didn't know
the great book cover. What's so funny? He's looking up. Oh, Colin pointed out to me how awful that book cover was. Like
Dwarf on golf or what?
Book cover was hideous.
What was his name again?
Dwarf
on golf.
Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden we get serious Jeffrey Tambor, and he's becoming, like Jimmy said, an activist, and he's all about the trannies now. Rah, rah, rah. Well, I guess you can't say trannies. Transgenders. Trans. Now you can just say trans.
You can say tranny. They say tranny.
Oh.
The tranny awards are in February. I've heard.
Are you going to be sick in February?
Yeah, you may hear like a bunch of cheering behind me. Look at make it in, guys.
Florentine, you shaved the beard, man. What the fuck? You were my beard brother. I'm going to have to shave now because I want to be just like you. How are you?
I was going to, I don't know. It's just...
We were going to talk about, we're going to talk about Des Bryant, but then we were waiting for you because you were taking a shit in the bathroom. So
How do you know?
Because Jimmy told...
We're all looking for Florentine. Like, where's Florentine? I'm like, he's got to be taking a dump. I haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, so then we started talking about the Golden Globes. Did you see the Golden Globes?
I tried. I saw a little of it.
I tried. And then I'm like, what am I doing? They're all licking George Clooney's ass, and then I finally said, I'm done with this. Why were they licking his ass?
Their joke about George Clooney was funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
What joke?
What'd they say? When he got married, you could hear all those hearts break.
Come on now.
Somebody's making a move for a gig for next year.
Yes, I am. Hey, there's the old heartbreaker. Good hand for him, though. Congratulations. Like a fucking Aces High applause.
What did you think of the Golden Globes, Florentine?
I only saw bits and pieces of it.
Yeah.
I forgot it was on, and then I saw people tweeting about it, so I put it on for... I missed out the monologue, which is what I really wanted to see, but I didn't see that.
It was all right. They had moments. I think their material was good, but the problem is that these assholes don't really want to react to anything, and they're too scared. They did a Cosby joke, and you could hear the moans in the audience. Like, oh, my God, why are you going there? That's crazy.
I saw people complaining about it, like women. Like, why are other women making Cosby rape jokes?
Right.
When there's a lot of rape victims.
Absolutely. I agree.
Christ.
I'm right with those ladies. Absolutely. I don't agree with that type of humor.
That's the basics. It's the basic of comedy. Rape is not funny, but jokes about it could certainly be funny, right?
I think there would have been a lot more flack if there was a guy host, if Ricky did it.
God.
And he did the Cosby
yeah.
jokes. Because he would have done 10 minutes straight on Cosby jokes.
Of course he would have.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have stopped. So we were talking about Jeffrey Tambor, this Transparent show. Transparent?
Transparent.
Transparent.
I only saw the first 4 because I don't want to join Amazon.
Right.
But it was fucking great when I saw it. It was fucking great.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Somebody called me out. He goes, when Jeffrey Tambor said, give it a chance, and at least watch the show, and you said to him, I definitely will do that. Someone asked me on Twitter last night, so did you definitely do that? I said, no. I never saw this show. It sounds like it's a great show.
Yeah, it was very well acted.
I just didn't like how he had to take himself so damn seriously in here.
There were also weird moments, though. Like, he came in and said something like, I don't want people asking me, did you wear women's underwear?
Right.
But I think you had spaced out or something, because like 10 minutes later you said, so did you wear women's underwear?
I didn't space out.
You did it on purpose?
Yes, I'm calculated at times. Yes, I was annoyed. Of course, I remember the interview like it was yesterday.
Why did he say he didn't want people asking him that? Why wouldn't you expect people to ask questions that we're curious about?
Yeah, because in the end, you're a man, you're an actor. So my thought process was it kind of weird to maybe grow out your nails a little bit? And did you wear underwear to really get into the part? What's wrong with that? Would you wear underwear if you? Would you wear panties? Probably. I mean, if you.
I've done it without the film. Why wouldn't I?
Should have saw me last week.
You would probably go all in if you're gonna, play that part.
You might want to feel a certain way. Why not? Like you want to feel like you're in that role. I don't think that's an odd thing at all.
But good for Jeffrey Tambor. He won best actor,
best actor,
actress. What did he win there for that?
Oh, but you're being cheeky again.
I liked how Louis, when the camera pointed to Louis when he was up for something, he's like, no, please.
Right.
Yeah, I like that moment.
But he really wanted it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But Tambor beat out a whole bunch of our pals there.
Louis beat Ricky. And honestly, his performance was fucking amazing, man. You can't.
Cheadle was in that category, I think, right? Yeah. And who was the other one that we... there was one more, I believe. Whatever. Anyway, what did you see? You didn't really see the Golden Globes, did you? Good for you. You shouldn't. I felt kind of dirty. I watched all those football games, and then I switched off of the Broncos game when that was over to the Golden Globes. I'm like, what are you doing? What the fuck? Go play with your kids. What are you doing watching this shit?
I did want to see the monologue, though. I missed that. I wanted to see the Peyton Manning press conference, his afterwards.
You think he's done?
I don't know. There's something going on. He definitely had some kind of injury. He was throwing like Chad Pennington.
Right.
He couldn't throw the ball, so.
They couldn't adjust. Those short passes and going, it worked obviously many times with those screens and stuff, but they had that figured out, and they kept doing that same shit.
He couldn't throw deep. He wasn't, that's his usual game. He'll throw short, and then throw deep.
And he never did the deep.
The defense keeps coming in, so there's something going on. Maybe that neck thing's coming back, or something with his arm, or something. But you could tell like the last 4 or 5 weeks he's got something going. Mm-hmm. Something's wrong.
He's 38.
And he didn't commit, too, about coming back next year, so.
But who else they got?
Nobody.
He'll come back for one more year. One rah-rah year. Maybe he'll say, all right, look, this is my final year, so he can at least get the accolades. Is he that? But he's not that type of guy. If he's ready to go, he'll just go.
I don't think he wants to embarrass himself, like play a really shitty. He had a good year this year, very good. Mm-hmm. I don't think if he knows there's some kind of problem, he's not going to want to come back and have a really shitty year.
Right.
And look really old.
What did he say in the press conference? I did not.
He just said, I haven't made my mind up. It's, I can't tell you right now, but I'm not going to commit either way, basically.
I bet you he comes back, unless whatever's going on is really, really serious.
There's like $20 million on the table, or $25 million.
Jesus,
too.
You come back for the $20 million.
Come back, absolutely.
Come back for one more, right? So let's get into this. That
was the weekend. I mean, it was a really good weekend. I had a great time in Long Island, and great weekend of football. And so I was happy to see that Richard Linklater won Best Boyhood one. I thought that was really good. I was happy.
Jimmy has an injury today. He got so mad.
No, I was just, once in a while you get angry at something and you realize this is why you stopped watching something years ago, because it ruins your life.
I know, it brings you back. It sucks you right back in.
I got so angry. I started screaming, fuck. Like it was like I was when I was 18. I'm punching the table in the hotel. I threw my water bottle and fucking hurt my right arm. It's just nonsense.
I'm watching it. I'm watching this thing again, man. Oh my God. I guess.
How does that?
I guess everyone is saying it's the right call, but man, I mean,
I thought he made 2 steps. He took 2 steps.
1, 2. That's
the
3
ground
steps.
causing the fucking fumble. He had the ball,
but then the ground.
But he had contact with the Green Bay defender.
Right.
Landed on the ground, and he still had the ball, so he should have been tackled right there.
Right.
The Green Bay guy touched him, so he falls on the ground, and now he should be down right there.
That's a bad call.
It's an amazing catch.
Technically, it is the right call. That happened with Calvin Johnson a few years ago. It's just a ridiculous call. If he's a running back and that ball breaks the plane, as soon as the nose of the ball hits the plane, he could fumble it after that, and it's a touchdown.
But that didn't break the plane, obviously. He was about
6 inches short,
6 to 8 inches short. I was rooting for the Packers, but I don't know. That seems like that should be a catch in the NFL at this point.
It's a joke that it's not.
I just don't see how it's not after you've taken 2 steps. Like, how is that still you're still catching? How is
There's some weird football move.
You have to make a football move.
But what do they consider a football move?
I don't know, a stutter step, or I don't know.
Oh, God.
I think you're making a football move.
Yeah.
It was a circus catch.
By reaching out and trying to get it to the end zone.
Right.
Because he didn't have to do that. He had the ball. He could have just tucked it.
Most of the guys that know way more than us about football say that it was the right call.
That's the only reason I haven't jumped out the windows. Because, all right, they didn't get fucked. It's just shitty luck.
Florentine obviously knows a lot more than us.
I mean, technically it is the right call, but it's ridiculous. It's stupid.
So how do they change that? Because I bet you that they might really take a serious look at this in the offseason and see if they could maybe change that in a way.
No, because what happened to Calvin Johnson a couple of years ago in the end zone, I think Johnson's was even more ridiculous than that.
Right.
And they said, nope, that's the rule. So they haven't changed in the last 3-4 years. So I don't think they're going to change it.
Man. And that's how the Cowboys lose.
Yeah, well, they
would have been first and goal at that point.
Yeah, they might have gotten in. I mean, I never said they definitely would, but let's say they would have at least got 3.
They had a damn good chance at it.
Yeah, unless Bailey missed another field goal. He missed 2 in like 10 seconds. He one fly. And I know the whistle blew, so maybe that was it. Just he didn't put a full. And then what did he miss? How was it? 51 or 50?
No,
yards?
it was like a 45-yarder. The one. Oh, no, they moved it back 5 yards, so he missed it. Yeah, 45 and then 50. Yeah.
And then there's a 51-yarder that they were going to kick, but they said that he had been coming up short that direction, so they had to go for it, I think on 4th at one point. Just awful.
So what happened in your house after the Des Bryant
I was in a hotel. It was just, I turned it off with 2 minutes left because I'm like, when you start to think of like what your laptop would look like sailing across the room, you're like, I just can't handle this emotionally. I can't do it.
Were you just pacing the hotel after that?
Nah, I was kind of like, they had a good season. And
but you threw a water bottle and threw out your arm?
In that moment, I was just so irritated, yeah. But how it is.
And you hurt your arm?
I certainly did.
That's right. I don't have a team in this, obviously, but God, the games were really exciting this weekend.
The New England Raven game was unbelievable.
I loved it.
That was a great game.
That was a score fest, man. And that play was amazing. I forgot the guys' names already. That's how lame I am.
Oh, Edelman and
Edelman, right? And Amendola.
Amendola, yeah,
right. Yeah, that's how they win on a trick play, basically. What do you think going forward? I want to see. I really, truly want to see the Patriots-Packers in the Super Bowl.
It's going to be tough for the Packers
rematch
to go into Seattle and win.
Right.
They could, but it's going to be tough.
And it's going to be tough for the Colts to win in Foxborough, right?
Yeah. The Colts, I always thought that a mediocre defense, but they played man-to-man on Peyton Manning and his receivers, just like Seattle did in the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
So he couldn't, he could throw his little dink and dunks, but they were right on top of him. They couldn't run afterwards after the 3-yard passes.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe the Colts can go in. Just Brady is just unbelievable, and the Patriots. I mean, they're
having a good year. They have a pretty solid team all the way through now. We'll see. Luck is no joke, though.
The 4 teams that are left, it's going to be a good Super Bowl either way.
I think so. I'm pretty excited with the 4 teams that are left. I can't wait for the games. Next weekend, right? We play again, and then we'll have the 2 weeks off before the Super Bowl. So,
yes.
So close, Jimmy. So close.
Well,
and Romo had a nice game.
Romo stepped it up this year. He had a great year.
I absolutely did. He was great.
There was like one game, I think, this year where he threw a pick late.
Yeah, he's having bad moments.
He's going to have.
My only issue with Romo is his mobility is not quite what should, about that of a cinder block. He's really.
But he's injured.
Yeah,
he's got some nagging injury too. A little back action maybe, and he his knee looked like he twisted that a little bit during the game, right?
Yeah, but I thought he was very good.
He played great considering.
Absolutely. good. I had no problem with it.
He didn't lose that game for you either.
No, not at all. It was just one of those things. Packers were really good. I mean, like you watch a season like that, you're like, the fucking team had a great season. I just wish that it didn't.
If DeMarco Murray didn't fumble, he had a hole. That hole, he would probably went all the way on that. He got stripped right there, and that turned around the game.
Yeah.
He probably would have scored on that. There was nobody around.
And then they said that was a 6-point turnaround when Dallas missed that field goal, and then they gave one up before the end of the half. So instead of being 17-7, it was fucking 14-10. Right. Little shit like that. Like, they made a few mistakes. And also, wasn't there a fumble on a kickoff, too, that Green Bay wound up recovering and the Cowboys didn't?
Yeah.
It was a Green Bay kickoff, but I mean, Green Bay's ball, but... whatever. It is what it is. It was. I've had a lot worse losses than that, like ones that were more frustrating than that. That was just that one moment.
I wish I was there because I haven't seen Jim in a rage like that watching sports in a long time.
It hasn't happened in so long. I only watch UFC now. I never get angry at who wins.
Would you giggle?
Oh, of course.
You would have to laugh, right?
I'm like, come on, that's not that bad. There's still time left. There's like 3 seconds on the clock just to instigate them.
Did you really hurt your arm?
I did, but I've had the right arm problem for quite a while. It's been acting up in the gym.
Yeah.
So it's just been, I've been trying to take care of it. And the way to take care of it is not to throw your half-filled water bottle. I had to throw something against something, and I couldn't. I can't throw the computer.
You do any damage to the hotel?
No.
Is that the arm you whack your bag with?
It certainly is.
Yeah, but
was it a problem last night after the water bottle incident?
I didn't do it when I got home last night. My dick was too sad. I was, of course, having an apnea problem like I did all weekend. I probably got 4 hours of sleep combined. And I could, my dick just wasn't having it. Was not having any fucking...
You go lefty, though, anyway. Change it up a little bit.
Never. I can't do it. My left.
You never go left.
I'm lucky I can jiggle my balls without
Change
fucking
it up a
injuring
bit.
myself.
Nah, it doesn't work for me either.
You can't get the rhythm going, but,
When I first started whacking my back,
it just makes it feel like you're with a very drunk girl.
Yeah,
I didn't start jerking off till I was 21. Was the first time I did it.
You're lying.
No, I'm not lying. I swear to God.
You are.
Why would he? Was getting blown for wrestling pictures.
We have to dip into your story. On a side note, we're going right back to that. I was hanging with Ron Bennington. He said your Unmasked was amazing. I still haven't listened to the whole fucking thing. Talking about your childhood and growing up and stuff.
Yeah, we did it live at the Stand, the Comedy Club. We did it in July.
Months ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's that long ago now?
Yeah, we taped it in July and it aired, I don't know, probably like late July or something like that.
Yeah, because I was at the Robert Kelly one at the Stand. It's a nice little room they got over there.
Love that. They do a really good job with that.
And Ronnie was telling me how great yours was. He was ranting and raving. But anyway, right back to you start jerking off at 21?
Yeah, 21. I didn't get laid till a month before I was 18. That was the first time I ever got laid.
I was 18. I was a late bloomer, but I was whacking. As soon as I realized that felt good, I don't understand how you go all those years without jerking off.
I think because I grew up strict Catholic, so I just felt like I really thought I was going to go to hell if I did it. So I stayed away. Yeah.
At age 17 or 19, you were thinking that?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I looked at a lot of porno. I'd always buy porno magazines at 13, 14, buying Hustlers and shit like that, but never jerked it.
But strict Catholic, that was our parents' generation where they really thought they were going to hell. If they talked about or thought about sex, I can't imagine our age group was believing in that horse shit.
No, I believe pro wrestling was real till I was 16. So why wouldn't I?
Not until you were 16.
14 is when the guy touched me, so I think it was probably another year or two after that. And that's when I stopped watching.
You're not a naive guy. What's going on in your head?
That guy removed your child. He removed your innocence.
You could not have believed that wrestling was real at 16.
I definitely at 14, without a doubt.
14 seems a little old.
I remember at like 15 or 16, it was Ivan Putski versus Ken Patera, and they were playing at they were wrestling at the local high school.
Yeah.
And I saw them like outside in the park, like getting the car together. And I was like heartbroken. I'm like, why would they? Because they were like in the same rent-a-car after the show. I'm like, why would they be in the same car? They hate each other.
You would think.
I think my dad had to tell me. He goes, look, no. Hey, look, Roland thought Santa Claus was real till last year.
Well, so. When did you figure out Santa Claus?
That was early. That
about
was
8.
Yeah,
I think 8's about the age, maybe.
Yeah,
I think I was around 8. So then I would give you 2 years after that for the wrestling thing. I would give you 2,
maybe 3.
Let's push 3 tops. You should have figured out by 11.
I mean,
huh?
11's super late.
I know, but
I'm giving him by the time I was 8.
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. But I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. What my point is, even if you think 11's late, he went 3 years after that.
But didn't you go to live shows?
I used to go to Madison Square Garden. You had to be, I think, like 7.
You didn't see the fake fucking hits?
You can't go to live shows and think that that's real when you're 14.
There was a lot of blood and stuff like that, too. I definitely thought it was real.
They do a much better job now. They've figured out angles and stuff where it looks way... And they take more bumps, I think, modern-day wrestlers.
Now, it's different
than when I was growing up. But it was so obvious when we were growing up it was fake. They would miss each other by fucking 6 to 8 inches with half their stuff.
Maybe I just didn't want to believe it. No, because I remember my dad used to take me to Madison Square Garden for the matches, and I think you had to be like 16 or 18 to get in the matches because there was going to be blood. If there was blood, there was some weird rule. So I remember my dad would make me wear platform shoes like Gene Simmons from Kiss, so I look taller and I can get in.
That's wonderful.
And I wear like bell bottoms to cover them up.
I'm going to try to say wonderful instead of beautiful. When you're in here, I have to say beautiful about 100 times.
That's the last word I want to say when I look at him.
I love imitating Florentine when he's in here. I find myself going beautiful when you're in here. So I'm going to try to say wonderful instead. Well, how high were the platforms?
They were high, like, probably 6 inches.
Get the fuck out of here, really?
6 to 8 inches. My mom used to have pairs or whatever, so I'd fit into hers somehow.
So you're wearing your mom's shoes?
Yeah.
Did you have longer pants to cover up the fact that...
they were like bell bottoms to cover them up so you couldn't see them.
And how did you walk in the platforms? That's like trying to handle stilts. They're that high.
Well, you take the train to Penn Station. Madison Square Garden was right there, so it wasn't too much walking.
Your dad made you get fucking...
Yeah, because he wanted me to look taller so I could get in the match. He didn't want to get there and then go, no, you guys got to go home.
Right. Did they ever question you?
No.
That's nice. All right, so 14, but the 21, I don't get the 21. That's impossible.
I remember
you never touched it or anything?
Probably, but I remember the first time I came in a rubber with my first girlfriend, I ran in the bathroom because I didn't know what happened. I thought like blood came out.
No one explained this to you at 18?
No. So I ran in there. I'm like looking in the condom, like holy shit, because I blew probably a gallon into it. I almost when I took it off, I put it off my shoulder, on my back, like I was Santa Claus, walking it out to the dumpster.
Let me ask you, this is why I almost admire Florentine, though, because that you can fuck with the condom on now. Like, I'm so fucking fucked up from doing that for so many years and so ferociously and so like, that's probably the healthy way to go. You don't abuse yourself so your dick does what it's supposed to do.
I've never had a problem wearing a condom. Never.
I can't believe either one of you.
Sure, it's better without, but I have no problem with it.
The second time around, I might have a problem with one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a little soggy six.
Me too. In life, the second time in life I tried it, I was finished.
But getting back to the 21, so when I finally did it...
No, let's go back to 14, and then we'll get to the 21.
Okay.
Like, there's a lot of time where you're just in your room by yourself, 12, 13, 14, and you couldn't figure out how all this worked by yourself?
I had 2 brothers that were living in a room. There was 3 of us in the room. We had bunk beds and another bed.
So we had the same life.
And then I had my Farrah Fawcett poster right above my head, the one with the nipple.
Right.
So that was right there, too.
But still, you had erections, right?
I think.
So weird, Jim. That is so weird.
I remember getting blown at like 16 from some girl, but I never came at work.
But where'd you go to school that the kids at school weren't talking about this? You learned a lot of shit at that lunch table, like the first kid going, hey, you know what fucking could happen if you pull your putt a few times?
Yeah, well, the guys I hung out with were all just, we just smoke cigarettes and drink beer, even at 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, so we weren't really into chicks. And then I moved to Florida, so I went in this private Catholic school, junior and senior year, that I didn't know anybody.
Wow.
So I didn't have really any friends down there at all for the 2 years. It was just a bunch of rich, yuppie kids.
Right.
And I was this dirtbag with long hair with a fucking Black Sabbath shirt on.
So your brothers didn't tell you shit.
No.
Obviously, we didn't have the internet, but none of your friends at school told you shit.
No.
And then when you're just bored in your room by yourself, wide awake at night with a heart on, you couldn't figure out, let me fool around with this and see what this could do?
I was watching a lot of wrestling, so I probably wasn't getting a lot of hard-ons. Superstar Billy Graham did have a nice body, but
he sure did.
It really didn't do anything for me.
Sure did.
Yeah. Tony Atlas is hot, too.
So then you finally... Wait, 21 was when you...
21 is when I first whacked my bag.
But 18, you lost your virginity.
Yeah, and then there was one other girl in between 18 and 21 window that I had sex with, and that was it.
That I don't get this.
I remember I used to wear a cross around my neck, and I remember the second girl I hooked up with, like some bar. I took her home, and I remember taking the cross off and sticking it in my sneaker before I did it because I was so like, oh my God, Jesus is going to see me. I got to take this off. I'm having sex, and I shoved it in my sneaker.
Well, at least you showed respect for the Lord.
Yeah, I put it in my smelly sneaker.
Wow. So 18, you come for the first time, and then you don't want that feeling unless you're with a girl?
Yeah, I don't, but by the fourth time I did it, that's when I used saran wrap on her, and she broke up with me, so that fucked me up.
What's the saran wrap thing?
I used saran wrap on my first girlfriend without her knowing.
Yeah. You tried to kill her and cook her.
And then she found out, and she broke up with me the next day.
Wait, you put saran wrap around your penis?
Yeah, because I didn't have a condom. We were in our house like 2 a.m, and I forgot to bring a condom. We were fooling around. Her parents were upstairs.
So were you horny?
Yeah, so she's like, she goes, you need a condom. We have to do this. So I said, hold on. I ran into a kitchen at like 2 a.m. naked. I don't know why I thought there would be a condom in there, and I just saw saran wrap. I ripped the sheet off.
Why would you tell her if it worked?
Because I figured she was going to say no, like you can't use this. So I started putting it in. It was dark,
and
then she turned the light on because it wouldn't go in, and she was screaming because it hurt. It was dry.
Oh my God! She saw your saran wrap.
Lucky it wasn't tinfoil.
I would have used that if I would have found that first.
Oh wow! Okay. And then you just decide. So when did you lose the religious thing?
Yeah,
where you calmed down a little bit as far as that goes.
Probably about like 21 when I started. After I started, when I jerked off the next day, I felt so bad. I felt like the biggest loser. Like everybody's looking at me like what a piece of shit I did, because I did it in like the middle of the night. I came home drunk from a bar. I think I was like making out with some chick, and I was all horny.
Right.
I just did it like 3 a.m.
Right.
So you knew about it but avoided it.
Yeah, I avoided
it.
it.
But you knew it existed and just didn't want to.
I don't know how you avoid that.
I don't either.
Especially as a teenager when you're getting 20 hard-ons a day. I don't understand how you avoid that.
Yeah.
I was more into wrestling and music and stuff like that, and
we
just
were all into
playing football and shit. We look at dirty magazines, but
I was into everything you just said and jerking off.
Yeah,
you found time.
I was into all of those while jerking off.
Well, that is a hell of a story.
There's 7 of us in a house, so there wasn't a lot of privacy. I mean, I'm sure I could have done it somewhere, but there really wasn't.
Look, man, there was a time there was 5 boys in one room in my house, and I found a way.
You ever arc one on one of your brothers?
Hell no. I found a way. We had two bunk beds in our room. And 2 of my brothers had to share a bed for a long time. A little too long. A little too long.
To what age?
They moved in together in an apartment.
I think if I got around 6 or 7, that's a little too long to be sharing a bed with your brother.
But that's not as terrible as I thought.
And then we finally took the top half of our house off and did the right thing and made some more rooms. But yeah, for a long time, it was 5 of us in one fucking room. We had very similar upbringings.
Yeah.
And we have... I got 5 boys, 2 girls, and you're right up. You're pretty damn close yourself. So.
But what happened was after I did it, I felt guilty for a couple days, and then I just went on a tear. I couldn't stop.
Right.
Within 10 days after I jerked off the first time, I had to go to the doctor because I got bursitis in my arm. I swear to God, my arm was in a sling for a week. I used to play softball, and I missed like two games. I couldn't go to work. My fucking arm was in a sling because I was jerking off. The doctor's like, "What are you doing with this arm?" Because the other one's fine. He did X-rays. I'm like, I don't know,
And you really believe you got it from that?
No, I did, without a doubt.
That's
it was
funny.
It was 10 days after, so I had a sling for a week.
So that you had to be just...
I was out of control. I couldn't stop.
That's wonderful. See, I want to say beautiful there. Man, that's a hell of a story. Sammy, you can't believe that, right?
No, I started jerking off at like...
What's the average age you think a guy starts whacking it?
I think I was like 15 and I was late.
15?
I would say 11 or 12.
I would go 11 or 12. I think I was about... I'm trying to even remember. Do you remember the first time you jerked off?
Oh, yeah.
You do?
Absolutely.
How old?
I was younger than that even.
To completion?
Well, what happened was, I didn't know what to expect. I was maybe I was 10 or 11. I don't remember. I remember vaguely. Just the first time I was about to come, I ran into the bathroom and pointed my dick the same as you because I thought it was piss. I felt that feeling building. I didn't know what it was. So I ran to the bathroom and just, of course it stopped. It went away. I was like, what happened?
Wow.
Like, oh.
Wow.
And then later I'm like, let me get that back.
I felt guilty about it the first time.
Why?
Because I thought it was like, that's baby juice,
Did you feel guilty because you did it or because you ate it after? As you were eating it out of your hand, did you feel bad? Like a small deer?
Baby juice.
Licking my fingers.
Yeah, it's sad that most of us do feel guilty.
The very first time, just watching, like, just flushing it, I was like, oh, that could have been a life.
Oh, God.
But then, like,
I wish your mom and dad had said that.
See, you wouldn't be here.
But then immediately, the next night, he was like, oh, no, I'm fine with it now.
You're right back with it? Yeah, get rid of those lives?
No problem.
Why the guilt, though? Obviously, the church could do that a little bit.
I don't know, because I never went to church.
And then your parents looking at you, you always feel like they could see right through you. Like,
no, they weren't watching me that time.
I was still going to church every Sunday up till probably like 2021 maybe. So then you had to go to confession like once a month or whatever. And I was embarrassed to confess that I jerked off.
Did you?
I think, when I first did, and then I was like, man, I'm not coming here anymore because it's embarrassing. Yeah.
So you started jerking off at 21, and that's what got you away from church.
Pretty much,
too.
yeah. I was like, I'm not going back in
You
there to
made
tell
the right
priest.
choice, loads or God.
Yeah.
And you chose loads.
How many priests you think loved confession day?
It had to be a lot.
Yeah. A lot, right? They're sitting there like, I get to listen to everyone's dirty fucking secrets all afternoon long. I mean, that could be the greatest gig ever. Yeah.
The two priests that I would always confess to wound up molesting kids later on in life. We all found out those two.
And how many of those guys were actually getting off as you're telling your dirty little secrets, you think? You're a human after all. I'm just going with the human angle here. You're sitting there hearing like these hot milfs and all that, confessing all sorts of shit, and you're there and you're not allowed to have sex with anything, and you got to be losing your mind.
Now with smartphones, they probably tape it. How many times priests probably tape the conversation and just jerk off to him later?
Later on,
I would.
They'd wanted Florentine stories from him 10 years earlier. They were like, "You're 21. This isn't
I know, right?
Sexy.
I sounded like this when I was 21 too. They're like, what's wrong with you? You sound like you're 60. Let me see what you look like.
I went to confession a few times. I would always save the embarrassing stuff. Not that I had anything too crazy, but I always just went with the nonsense stuff just to get it over with.
There was one of the priests. They just transferred him away because when that shit was going down, parents were complaining. They just sent him to another parish somewhere. The other guy, no one ever knew, right? So cut to like 20 years later, this couple that went to the school that were like high school sweethearts or grade school sweethearts wound up getting married. So the woman wanted to have this priest marry them. He was working at another parish. Now, this is 20 years later. So they're having like a engagement party, and they bring the priest there, and they're talking or whatever, and the priest is up there talking, and then the guy goes up there, the fiance, and goes, and it says, Father Steve, I'll call him, wound up molesting me when I was a boy for 20 years ago, broke it in front of everybody at the engagement party.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, it was someone told me that story like 6 months ago.
Did he do that on purpose? Did they do it on purpose to get in there or no?
I don't know. I know that the wife wanted him, the priest, to do their wedding. So she found him wherever he was in another place, at another parish, and he was at the engagement party, and the guy broke it at the engagement party. Never told his wife, never told anybody about it.
I was going to ask if the wife knew. So what happened was she really wanted this priest. He was tormented by the whole thing.
Yep.
And then he was feeling it in the moment. Said,
Was he
you know
drunk,
what?
you think?
You know what? I have to say this now.
No, what if he's loaded?
Probably not. When you're, you got a lot of emotions going on at those engagement parties and stuff, and everyone getting up and talking. So he probably just felt it and said, fuck it, I got to say this now. Wow.
Yeah.
So then what happened? Yeah.
So he just, the guy just like left the parish he was in, the church that he was practicing at. That priest just left, and then we didn't know where he went.
What happened at the party? Like, did he do the wedding?
No, he didn't do the wedding. I think the wedding might have been off. I don't know. Like, I don't
she
know.
Left him?
No, I don't know what happened after that, but I know he definitely didn't do the wedding, and then the guy kind of like disappeared. The place he was working at, he just left. He resigned, and that's all I heard. I didn't hear the ending of the story, but he broke it right at the engagement party in front of everybody.
What'd they all do?
Everyone was freaking out because they thought he was joking. Someone was there, so they thought he was ha ha ha. And he's like, "No, I'm serious." And the guy stared crying.
Who, the priest?
No, the guy that got molested.
No, the priest was probably trying to make everybody laugh like it was a big joke. He's roasting me. Oh boy, that's uncomfortable.
But those two guys never touched me though. When I was an altar boy too.
You sure?
Yeah.
I wonder if we had kid touchers in our parish.
Guaranteed, man. Well, probably the odds are.
Yeah.
At one point, yeah. Maybe not everyone. Maybe.
I just wonder because it was rampant.
Yeah.
Rampant. Yeah. So I think most of us had a kid touching priest relatively close to us.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. They would just say, all right, now you go somewhere else and do this.
Yeah, just move to another place. And the parents, would go, hey, it was something inappropriate went on. And they would go, no, a priest would never do that. And then it would just go away.
And then we just push them on to another. Why? Why would they do that?
They're a terrible, that part of them at least is a terrible organization. They've done a bad job there.
Yeah.
Our priest, I never knew any molesting priest. The priest we had was Father Mizarek, or was it Mizarek? He was Steve Mizarek. He was his cousin was the pool player.
Oh yeah,
I think that was.
Oh, no
his cousin.
kidding.
Yeah,
that guy was unbelievable.
Yeah, that's how I remember his name.
Huh?
Steve Mizarek was the pool player.
Yeah,
I think so.
So the Saran wrap. You think it would have worked if you would have been able to?
Yeah, I used it one other time on a girl and it did work. I got like half of it in.
How do you make sure? I mean, the Saran wrap will kind of.
Yeah, it comes off.
You have to hold it though. That's the problem. You got to hold it at the base.
Oh, just dump into it and pull out real quick.
No, you just got to hold it as you're doing
base?
it. When you put it in, so you really can't get the whole thing in. Unless you put like a little rubber band at the.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, on your shaft. Yeah, but I didn't. So you have to hold it the whole time.
A hair tie or something.
To me, I just want to break the plane so I can get the stat.
Snapping again, you get one of my nuts caught in it.
You were a late bloomer, though, man.
Yeah, I was, and then I went on a tear. I was a late bloomer.
When did you make it to the AAA? To the AAA
I was like
club?
Aaron Rodgers. I sat on the bench for 4 years behind Brett Favre, and then I had a fucking good career.
And then you did great.
Yeah.
You know what? You forget that Aaron Rodgers sat the bench for 4 years.
Yeah, behind Favre, and then Favre wanted to come back.
I forgot all about that.
Remember he retired, Favre, for the 95th time?
And then also
in February, and then April, he wanted to come back. And they go, sorry, we moved on with Aaron Rodgers. And he was pissed, and that's when he got traded to the Jets.
To the Jets.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, I forgot all about that until you just said it.
It's funny because I was just in Dallas this weekend. I was hanging out with our old buddy Tyson Walter.
Oh, yeah.
I
saw him. I dinner with him when I was there.
He's going to be on my podcast today.
You did a
podcast with. It was great.
How did it went? Well,
phenomenal, because he talks about what goes on in the locker room as an NFL player, the bullying, if there was a gay guy in the locker room, the concussions and shit. Really good stuff. Bill Parcells, because
stop teasing us. Give us something. He said.
He just said the bullying thing. He's like, whatever was in those text messages between Cognito and Jonathan Martin was nothing compared to what we would do.
Of course.
He goes, that's all we did. We hung out. It was 53 guys. All you did was bust balls.
Just beat the shit out of each other.
He goes, we would get pictures, you get pictures of somebody's wife or girlfriend, and that's all you would do. Please let me fuck her. You know what I mean? Like, way worse shit like that.
and was it racial, too?
He didn't say.
I would bet money it was racial as well, but
some guys, sure.
But in a way where everyone understood, like, we're just fucking around here.
Yeah, I mean, he just said they were all, you're together, and that's what you do, man. You just,
I love Tyson.
He's a great guy.
I haven't seen him in a while, but
he played for the Packers his last year.
Yes,
he said that Aaron Rodgers was behind Favre, and he saw this guy in practice, and he told his wife, he goes, that guy is going to be a superstar.
Right.
That guy's unbelievable. So the Packers knew what they had. They were just waiting for Favre to get out of there. They didn't want to push him out because Favre was such a legend, but they knew Aaron Rodgers was
going to
ready.
be the thing.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear this podcast now with Tyson Walter.
He's great, man.
Yeah, he talks about how all the bullshit rules in the NFL. I've had many conversations with him. All the nonsense you could get fined for if your socks aren't pulled up correctly or whatever, and just they study your uniform and just give you all sorts of fines for stuff that's going on.
He said when Bill Parcells took over the Cowboys, they built the indoor bubble to practice because it was so hot in the summertime.
Yeah,
and he would turn the heat up in the bubble. So he was actually hotter in the bubble than it would be outside.
Why would he do that? Just so you'd be used to it?
Yeah, just to get you in shape and just basically, he just torture you, make it 120 degrees in there and play for he practiced for 3 straight hours.
Right.
Eat lunch and then go practice for another 3. These were before the new rules.
Did you get to play golf with him?
No, I don't play golf.
I've played golf with Tyson Walter. What a fucking nightmare.
Why? He's good.
He's a big galoot. He's a big fucking monster.
He hits like a pitching wedge, 200 yards. He's ridiculous. His ball goes so far that it's so far and so high, you have no idea where the fucking ball went. Next thing you know, we'll jump in a golf cart and we're going 2 fucking holes over to the left to go find his ball. And then he'll hit the ball from there onto the green. He's nuts to play with. You got to understand golf for what I did, what I just said, but
he was
you want a guy that pretty much hits it relatively straight, so you don't have to go, on a wild goose chase for the ball every other fucking shot.
He said that when Parcells took over the team, that Parcells told all the Cowboys, stay out of strip clubs. Because they were always getting in trouble, all these guys. So he did that when he took over, like in February.
Yeah.
And then one of the defensive backs at the time, one of the starting cornerbacks, got shot in the ass at a strip club.
Really?
So when training camp starts a month later, he makes the guy, he goes, hey, look, I told you guys nothing good happens after midnight. I warned you guys a couple months ago, hey, whatever his name is, Cedric, stand up and show him what happens after midnight. He made the guy pull his pants down and showed a fucking bullet wound in his ass to the whole team. That's what happens after midnight.
And the guy was fine with the bullet wound in his ass?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he actually played. But yeah, there was a bullet wound in his ass. He made him pull his pants down and
Did
show
the bullet
the whole
go
team.
in?
Yeah.
So he went to the hospital.
Well, yeah, he went to the hospital.
They pulled it out, and he was still able to play that week.
No, this was the season didn't start yet.
Oh, okay.
So he had a couple months to recuperate.
Okay,
But he had a huge scar on his fucking ass cheek, and Parcells made him show the whole team what happens after midnight. Nothing good. That's not true. A lot of fucking trains go down after midnight. They don't go down at 8 at night. A lot of good shit happens after midnight.
I'm with you. With young people, a lot of good stuff happens after midnight.
Nothing before.
That 9 to midnight is a bore fest.
Yeah, that's a fucking dinner. My grandmother lives in Kansas.
9 to 1 a.m. is a bore fest. Who are you kidding?
Yeah.
When you see those lights go on in the bar, it's it's time to fucking run around like a lunatic trying to get something done. I met Bill Parcells because of Tyson Walter down in Dallas when we played at golf. At that golf course, it's dedicated to the Cowboys. It's a Dallas Cowboys golf course, and that's the theme of the whole place. The golf carts had the Cowboys helmets on them, and the ball girls and the drink girls all had the cheerleader uniforms on and stuff, and it was all blue, silver, and I guess gold tees and
it's where they can go without being bothered, right?
I guess. I mean, it's really hard to get on this golf course, but obviously if you play for the team or are associated with the organization, you play. And we go to the range to hit balls, and Bill Parcells comes up in his cart, and obviously Tyson knows him, and they have small talk, and I'm sitting there starstruck. I was starstruck on that one. I'm just like hemming.
No picture.
No, because back then we didn't really have our phones going yet, so you had to have some kind of portable camera on you all the time for these moments.
At that time.
I probably had a Pebble at that time. No, it was when we were off the air even. So this is 11, 12 years ago. I would guess. When was Parcells the coach? That's when it was.
Oh, there, yeah.
He hasn't coached them in well over 10 years now. So. But I remember just being fucking starstruck. And Tyson introduced me, and Bill fucking couldn't give a fuck. Had no recognition of who I was.
He probably wasn't a fan of the radio show.
I don't even think he knew the radio show. No. I would love to think that he wasn't a fan of the show, but I think he didn't even know about this show. And we were hot back then. Hot.
How old is he now?
Parcells?
Yeah.
Like 70, 71, yeah.
It's got to be pushing 70 at least. I think you're about right. All right, so the Tyson Walter, he's a good friend of all of ours. Yes. He'll be on your podcast today. Is it available now?
It'll be posted. It should be like an hour or so.
How about it's not posted until we're done?
All right, yeah, we'll post it at noon.
I don't want to compete.
It's a really good interview about the inside, what goes on in the locker room.
That's great.
All that shit, yeah.
So he thought that Incognito got just a raw deal in the end.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So it goes on every day in every locker room, and it still goes on, and nobody has a problem with it.
But when is he going to come back?
He's not.
You don't think Incognito ever comes back?
Is it just for that reason?
He's already at like 31, 32 years old. They always want to, he'll work for the league minimum next year, but I highly doubt if someone hot.
He's well rested, though.
He is, but he's old. They like 22-year-old kids in there.
Was he hurt?
Injuries.
Did he have an injury? Is that one reason?
No.
Is he just not playing for those text messages?
Yeah. That's it. He definitely
was good. He's a good guy. Everybody needs offensive linemen in the league.
Somebody would have picked him up if it wasn't for the racist angle on that whole thing.
Without a doubt. It was just one little part in all those text messages.
So the guy's done with his career basically, that's 2 years ago now? 28, 29 years old, he's done.
Yeah, he had a good 2 or 3 years left.
Where's the guy who was bullied, quote unquote? Where's that guy?
He's with the 49ers. They traded him. Miami traded him for like a 7th round pick, and he started like half the games, and he's still not that good.
Okay.
But he's with his old coach. Harbaugh used to coach him at Stanford in college. So
shouldn't that guy have come out and basically said, "Look, we're done with this. Let the fucking guy back in the league."
He should have.
The fact that has to happen, especially since we have video of Ray Rice knocking his wife out.
No kidding.
And he'll play next
I think there's lawsuits still going on.
But he knows they were.
So he can't really come back and go and say that.
He knows they were friends, though. You say stuff to your friends, right?
Yeah. He helped them because the guy was really struggling. He was a bust. He was a second-round pick, and he wasn't doing well. And Richie was just getting him out of the house, doing whatever he can, busting his balls. But like, dude, come on, I'm picking you up. We're going to a movie. We're going to a strip club, whatever. You can't just sit in your house.
It's too bad.
Yeah.
So quickly before we go to break, so who do you got in these games this weekend? Who goes to the Super Bowl?
I'd say, if I had to guess, New England, Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle's going to be tough. You think Seattle could win 2 Super Bowls in a row?
I don't know. It's going to be tough. I mean, because they got that huge home field advantage. If they play New England, I don't know. If they play the Colts, I think they could beat them. New England's going to be really tough. A
lot of people are picking the Pats over the Colts. I think the paper had it 38-21. That's a blowout, basically.
Yeah, I mean,
in a playoff game.
And then, look, the Packers can go into Seattle and win. They could. They could. But Russell Wilson is unbelievable, man.
He's a good quarterback.
Jesus, is he good?
All right. There you have it. We got Jim Florentine today. His podcast with Tyson Walter a little later today on riotcast.com or how else?
Or iTunes.
Or iTunes, yeah.
And then I'll be in Atlanta this weekend at the Laughing Skull Comedy Club.
I did that years
Thursday
ago.
through Sunday. It's a great club.
Speaking of Atlanta, the Rex Ryan thing. So Rex Ryan goes to the Bills, but he thought he was going to be the Falcons coach, wanted to be the Falcons coach, but then he felt like the team was sort of, dare I say, dissing him and not showing respect, didn't get back to him soon enough. And all Rex Ryan's pals were saying, hey, Rex, why don't you give it one more day? And Rex is like, fuck that. If they wanted me, they would have called me by now. And then marches down to Florida where the Bills owners are and signs that 5-year deal.
Yeah, they want. Rumor has it they wanted to interview Josh McDaniel, who's the offensive coordinator for the Patriots.
Okay.
Used to be the Broncos coach. The Falcons wanted to before they made a decision on Rex Ryan. But he hasn't interviewed with anybody because the Patriots are still playing. So they haven't talked to him yet.
Rex Ryan didn't want to wait.
Rex Ryan didn't want to wait. But meanwhile, in Atlanta, you're in a shitty division, and you got a really good quarterback. It's a good situation. He's got a house in Tennessee. His wife lives, I don't know, the kid goes to Clemson, so everything's close. That's the gig he wanted. He has to fix that defense, but you got a quarterback. You go to Buffalo, you got a phenomenal defense, no quarterback. He's basically like the Jets.
He's dealing with.
He took the Jet job, but with a better defense. But he's got no quarterback in Buffalo either.
Yeah, he's dealing with another team without a quarterback,
and they have
That's
no
gonna
first
be a
round.
nightmare after
They got
a while.
no first round pick this year. They traded it last year. They got no first or fourth, so you're not getting the quarter. You're going to get a shitty Mark Sanchez or a Matt Schaub to come in there for a year, and then hopefully maybe the next year get another quarterback.
Oh my God!
So he's fucked. But look, he probably said, "I'm getting $27.5 million guaranteed."
How do you turn that down for when it's an immediate gig? You got to take it.
In case all those other jobs filled up and he didn't get a job, he finished what 4 and 12, 4 and 12. So maybe he doesn't get any of these job openings. He's like, you know what? I go to TV, I make $1 million. I'm guaranteed $27.5 million. I'm set for life
for a 4 and 12 coach.
For a 4 and 12 coach.
I've always liked Rex Ryan as a coach. You know, I don't know shit, but I always liked him. I really do think he'll do well in Buffalo.
Hey, look, the Bills haven't been in the playoffs in like 15 years. If he can get to 2 playoffs in 5 years in that contract, he'll be a god in Buffalo.
Yeah.
So that's all he has to do. He doesn't even have to win a Super Bowl for big old. He did a good job.
But he didn't want to wait for the Falcons. I think the Bills would have waited for him too. So
yeah.
That's very interesting how that went down.
The Bills
he really wanted
that was
gig.
like the worst job available was the Bills. Mm-hmm. You know, the Bears job, that's a good one. The Raiders, you never know. That's a lot of history there. Even though they got a shitty owner and stuff.
Who wants to live in Buffalo with the weather when you can? Atlanta's just so much warmer.
I got to tell you though, Buffalo, is a great sports town.
It's amazing. You can't eat dinner in Buffalo without looking at a fucking TV somewhere. If you're watching a game, it's the best place in the country.
And I mean, that whole city gets behind the team. The whole fucking city. They're kind of like the Packers, you know what I mean? Where the whole fucking city comes out.
Plus, you stay in the AFC East. You're not winning the division. As long as Brady and Belichick are there, probably another 2-3 years at least.
You think Brady has 3 more years?
The guy's the top of his game right now.
How old is he?
I don't know, like 37.
He's been around.
He's got at least
time.
2 solid years, probably 3. So until those guys are gone, you're not winning the division.
Right.
Unless he gets hurt one year.
Right.
So you're always going to be behind them.
There you have it, Jim Florentine.
I want to see Brady go to the Bills. That's what I say is going to happen. He's going to play for Buffalo and Rex Ryan, and they're going to win the Super Bowl.
All right, we'll take a break here. What do we got today? We got Jamie Hector coming in at 10 o'clock.
Yes.
And more with Jim Florentine. Sorry, we just wanted to hear this song for a little while. Why the Britney Spears there, E-Rock?
Her debut album came out 16 years ago.
Wow.
If you want to feel old.
That's exciting news.
Absolutely.
I used to have a Britney Spears poster in my office at NEW, and it wasn't a joke either.
What was it, like a hot poster? Like
Yeah, people are like, oh, that's funny, Britney Spears poster in your office. I'm like, no, this poster was ridiculous.
Yeah, she was sexy, though.
She was very sexy for a very long time.
How old was she in the poster?
She was legal. Sam, relax. She was legal.
She wasn't.
I don't do that illegal
16.
shit.
Oh, what? 16's fine of a poster? You're a fan.
About 16.
16, yeah, I mean...
If you find pictures online, I will tell you exactly what poster it was, and then we can figure this out.
The one with the pink shirt, right?
I think so. But wait, show me the fucking poster first.
Well, what year was it?
Well,
90.
the NEW years
99.
were 98 to 2002-ish, right?
Probably 99.
Remember at the MTV Music Awards how good she looked when she walked by? Oh, my God, was she fucking amazing.
Oh, right. Yes, I do.
Okay, so she was born in 81.
She was born in 81?
81,
I'm in trouble. Wait, no, I'm not in trouble.
Or 99, you're fine.
There you go. It was in 98 when we first came to town. So 99 at the earliest. So she was 18. But I think
16 when the poster was taken.
But I think it was about 2000 actually. So I'm good.
So she was 18 at the
18
time.
or 19. This poster was ridiculous.
But the poster might have been from when
She's
she was
wearing the
16.
denim cutoffs, right?
If you find the picture, I'll tell you which one it was.
You put in Britney Spears poster, it's the first one that comes up.
All right, put in Britney Spears poster.
Just put in kiddie porn, Britney Spears, and you'll find it.
Yeah, it was that one.
Yeah, no, that's one of her first posters.
Wait, maybe it wasn't that one. Go back. Hold on. Go back. I'm panicking.
That's not a sexy poster.
Hold on, now I'm trying to remember.
And that poster was made in like 99.
You see it, Sam. I can't see Britney. She looks good.
No,
there.
I don't think it was that one.
She's peeking behind a wall. Hello, hi.
What other posters she do? It wasn't that one, Sam.
She's too young.
Where she doesn't even have fucking breasts yet.
Oh, look at her head. She's so cute. Hi.
Let's see.
Oh, that was nice. She's wearing like a little turquoise outfit, looking all sassy.
Sam, look for the one where she's wearing braces. I think that's the one.
It was, let me see.
She's on her back. She's got her legs up in the air. Oh, she's on a thing at a changing station.
Oh, who gives a fuck? More Who Gives a Fuck radio.
That's all right, though, if you were into that, you know.
Yeah, we had the Howard Stern's birthday today.
That's cool.
60. Is he really 61? No, he's older than that, right?
No, I don't think he's older than
Last
that.
year was the big 60th birthday.
Oh, that's right. They had the big party last year. Oh, okay. I just saw that on my list. I was, and your boy Rob Zombie is the big 5-0.
He had his birthday party, and he was posting all kinds of photos on Instagram.
Yeah.
Tom Papa was there.
I got invited to the party, and
I did too, and I couldn't go.
I was so pissed that I couldn't go.
I'm lying. I didn't invite.
I didn't think he did. I believe Florentine. I didn't believe you.
Why wouldn't you go to Rob Zombie's birthday party, Sam? What's wrong with you?
Me? I would go in a heartbeat. I wouldn't be here today.
What the hell's wrong with you?
I don't know.
It was in L.A. It was Friday night or Saturday night in L.A.
What kind of 50th did he have?
I don't know.
Tom Papa was there. It wasn't a shindig.
No, it was cool. It was a lot of
It wasn't.
celebrities.
Who? Name me 7.
Dee Wallace was there.
Okay, fair enough. The actress?
Yeah.
Oh my God! From fucking The Howling. At the end, she had the worst fucking werewolf costume. She looked like Chewbacca. That dumb tear coming down her face when she went into transformation on the news. Boo for The Howling.
Malcolm McDowell was there.
All right, you know what? That would have been a fucking great part. That's right, because they did the.
Look at that picture.
Chris Hardwick.
You got Chris Hardwick. You got
That's John Five as
Rob
guitar
Zombie,
player.
Tom Papa.
Brother.
Spider.
Where's Malcolm McDowell?
Sid Haig and Bill Moseley.
Wow, look at that. That Tom Papa's he's a strange one. He's hard to figure out. We're all friends with him, but Tom Papa was in here with Rob Zombie, and Rob Zombie, who never shows any excitement ever. He's a tough one. He's a tough interview. He's a tough guy just to hang out with. He doesn't give you anything. But when he saw Tom Papa, he lit up. I've been interviewing and coming across Rob Zombie since the WAF days. I don't think I've ever seen him smile or give you anything. But as soon as he saw Papa, Oh my God! What's that about?
He had a good time with me last time he was in here.
Relax,
He was smiling.
Sam.
Yeah, I had a good interview with him on Comic-Con. I think
That's right. Yeah.
Was he smiling?
Yeah.
No, he gives you good interviews, but he's intense.
Yeah.
But not when he's around Tom Papa.
Rob was playing, I think, in New York City at this venue, right? And me, Don Jameson, Eddie Trunk were there. And he said, I'm going to bring you guys out on stage in the middle of our set. Oh. So he brings us out, the Guys Not Metal show, whatever. And he goes, we're going to do this thing. Eddie and Don will be over here and Jim will be over here. And you yell, fuck you, or something with the audience.
Yeah.
Nobody cared. Of course. No, it was so fucking embarrassing. I didn't want to do it to begin with.
Wait a minute. Wait, whose idea was it?
It was Rob's. He said, I want to bring you guys out, the three guys from that metal show, on stage in the middle of a set, so be backstage. So he brings us out. The guys in the metal show, you get a little applause.
Did you get a huge ovation?
No.
Were you hoping for a bigger applause?
I didn't even care. I just knew it was probably going to go bad.
You didn't have high hopes for this bit?
No, I didn't. So
you didn't have high hopes for the...
Because Manson opened for him, so you had a weird audience. You had Manson, which had a lot of, fucking emo chicks.
Yeah.
And guys, and then you had zombies, so it was a weird crowd. The Manson crowd, even though we've had him on our show, that's not really our audience. So, yeah, we walk out, maybe 10% clap, 20%. And then he does this thing where Eddie's standing on one side and me and Don on the other. And he's like yelling, how about for Eddie? How about for Don and Jim? And it just petered out into nothing.
And he wants them to yell, fuck you?
Something like that. It was something to go get some crowd into it.
Where you get fuck coming from the left and you on the right. When did you bail on the bit?
He bailed on it. He goes, wow, that didn't go well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He at least acknowledged it?
He had to admit it.
All right, good for him.
To the audience?
Yeah, he just said, wow, that didn't...
Were you embarrassed?
No, let's get the fuck out of here.
Did you guys wave on your way out?
I didn't. I just walked right to the side. I'm like, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Do you ever get embarrassed?
Yeah. I mean, that was embarrassing.
Yes, every night when a club owner pays it.
Yeah.
No, but you don't really get embarrassed. Like you let a lot of stuff just go off you like that. But that you were embarrassed.
That was embarrassing. Because you got to pick your spots. Like I knew that probably wasn't going to be that good by doing that. We did it at the PNC Arts Center in Jersey, and it went better.
Right.
But yeah, that one in New York was brutal.
All right. Is that the Britney Spears poster?
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, you had two of them. One of them is the one that we just looked at in the cutoffs where she's...
in the cutoff jean shorts.
Is that you?
Yeah.
Young.
Really? Have I aged
That's a
that
hot
much, you
picture.
son of a bitch?
At least you're making a hook shot, though. You're playing some basketball.
I'm dunking.
When you say that's a hot picture, are you talking about...
The whole thing together. the young blonde ball player with the T-shirt under the basketball jersey.
That's cool, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I got some guns.
Absolutely.
No. Can I defend myself slightly?
No. You don't need to. It's a great
go
photo.
to work like that.
You kidding me? You're all right. You're ready for anything. You look good.
It's my NEW office with Anthony. You
Dunking
got
over a chick.
You got two Britney Spears posters. You got the Sam Adams hoop, which was awesome. And that was when we first started getting syndicated, and all those cities would send up their sports gear.
Yeah.
So for the publicity photo, we did something crazy, wacky with each city. So I'm wearing a Dallas Mavericks jersey, number 33.
That's insane.
And I'm dunking the ball.
Had you guys lost your minds?
I didn't.
How many takes did it take you to do that?
I'm surprised they let you get away with this.
I think it's a button-up shirt, by the way. Under the,
Of course, why wouldn't
jersey.
it be? And where's Anthony in this picture? What's he doing?
He probably took the picture.
I think they probably took him off to the loony bin.
Yeah, this craziness is too much.
You should get the collection, because I know there's one where Ant's in full Philly stuff. Where reading the Philly paper. There's a few of them that were what?
Is that the one that's been on that computer before?
Oh yeah, I think so. It's a screensaver over here.
Just
Maybe
the desktop on there.
Could you send me those pictures? I'll Instagram them today.
Sure.
We were a little wacky. We were a little excited about getting syndicated.
Now you're in the middle of dunking the ball. You're supposed to be looking at the basket, but you're looking at the camera.
Yeah, you really are.
No, I mean look at my arms. I was working out a lot. I want to look really good for the camera on that shot.
I'm looking at more of the mouth.
My relationship was shit, so I was hoping maybe just troll some bitches with that picture.
I hear you.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Got to troll for some bitches.
What do you think, Jim?
I'm trying to figure out the mouth, the expression on them, because your mouth's kind of open. It's not scared. It's not angry. I can't describe the expression.
Maybe he's going alley-oop.
No, it's like, huh? It's like a Nick Cage face. Huh? Huh?
I hate the fact that you weren't sure that was me at first. Fuck.
Yeah, I wasn't sure
that
either.
really?
You look better now, personally.
God, I hope
You look really tall in that picture. You almost look like a Barry Katz if you had a short haircut.
Oh my God, yeah.
Right?
It's always a compliment.
I was dunking the ball.
I'll say.
You know, this was our welcome to Dallas picture. Thanks for having us. Slam dunk.
Getting air.
That's when Mark Cuban used to hang with us.
Right.
Now we can't get him on the phone anymore.
Sure, or in meetings that he's supposed to be, and then he just never call you back.
What are you talking about?
Wow, really?
No. Good.
And I saw him at our gym, because when he comes to New York, he works out at our gym.
Oh, cool.
And he looked at me like, how do I know this guy? And I'm
Exactly.
like, I've had you on the show a million times, and you gave me the VIP treatment in Dallas when we used to be syndicated there.
Exactly. That's why I even pretend with them.
He looked at me, and he actually turned his head. I'm like, really?
Maybe you didn't see this photo.
Maybe you had a beard, though. You have a beard. Maybe you have the beard.
This was about a year ago. I don't even know if I had the beard. Honestly, I think it was 2 days after we had him on the show.
Well, didn't you run into somebody else?
Roger
in the
Daltrey.
park? Yeah, Roger. And he didn't remember you right afterwards.
Same day,
yeah. So.
Same day. I was walking to the park with my young son at the time. He was on, 2 years ago maybe? And he had a hat on, and he was with the guy that was with him. Like, hey, Roger. And he goes, I'm like, Opie, I just interviewed you 4 hours ago, 5 hours ago. These guys, I don't know what happens.
Dude, it's so bad. I literally have walked people from our studio to the elevator, and by the time we get to the elevator, they're like, who are you? I'm like, I just talked to you for an hour, sir.
I don't expect, like, hey, why don't we do dinner? I had such a good time. I wanted you to acknowledge that we just talked to you,
Just
though.
a hello. Like, oh, yeah, cool. Good to see you.
I'm not expecting much, Florentine. And I don't put myself out there often because I know that's the shit that happens. It was the same day.
Well, it was the same thing with, like, Ozzy. I've probably met 25 times over the years, and he never would remember me. I wouldn't even bring it up. Like, Ozzy, remember I met you? And I think at the last time, finally, he knew who I was, but I didn't take it personally.
I don't either in the end, but, well, with Cuban, maybe a little bit.
I find it heartbreaking. I hate when that happens. It breaks my little
Really?
heart. Yes. Depends on who the guest is, but
Cuban.
I saw Anthony didn't recognize me.
Kenny?
I wish he didn't. Kenny.
GH, can I ask you something?
Oh, no. This is never good.
No, it's not.
How's the coffee mug sales?
I'm hanging out with the fellas today.
I know, but
Can we talk about that some other day?
I was thinking about it all weekend, about your coffee mugs.
The coffee mugs are selling very well, Kenny. It seems like people really like coffee mugs.
I'm happy to hear that.
You selling coffee mugs yet, Florentine?
I was thinking about it. I have podcast T-shirts now, but I was thinking about the coffee mugs.
Coffee mugs. Coffee mugs are where it's at.
Any mugs selling better than any others?
Well, there's one that really is selling well.
Let me guess.
Slabo.
Is it Child of the 80s?
No, not Child
that
of the
one?
80s. Although that's doing okay.
Is it Words Hurt? I don't even know if that's a mug.
Yeah, it's a mug.
It is a
okay,
mug.
is it the Words
How
Hurt
many you don't
mug?
know? You haven't been on opieradio.com/shop?
How many mugs are there?
I got about 5 or 6.
Oh, my God.
One for each day of the
You got to
week,
give
Jim.
variety.
Yeah, people drink a lot of coffee.
I got 5, I think, yeah.
One for each day of the week.
Should bring some in for the fellas. I'd like a nice Slabo mug.
That's going to knock down my fucking profit margin.
What is the mug?
It's a write-off, though. Say it broke.
What
bring
is
it
the
some
mug
mugs.
that's outselling everything?
Slabo.
Yeah, Slabo.
It has nothing to do with Eric. Stop. It
No, why
started with
would it?
Eric, and now it's its own thing now.
Absolutely. Why would it? Oh, there. Oh, yeah. I see.
Eric, you know it's its own thing now. It has nothing to do with you, right?
Right.
I called you Slabo one day.
You know what's
it
interesting?
caught on, and then
5 years.
I've made a ton of money off T-shirts and mugs.
It's
from
interesting that
slogan.
it became its own thing immediately at the same time that the Slavo merchandise came out. Like those two things correlated.
You never know what's going to catch on. You just never know.
You got to just throw shit out there and hope it sticks. And the Slabo thing seems to be loved by fans of this radio show. They love it.
I hope everybody takes a picture of themselves with your coffee mug and sends it.
I retweeted the first one. Guy is sitting there drinking a cup of coffee out of his Slabo mug.
Slavo was the first sale, huh?
Good.
I might be able to buy a house with the Slabo money, Eric. Thank you. Thanks for that.
And what do your podcast T-shirts look like, Jim?
They're black.
What do they say?
They just say Comedy Metal Midgets, Jim Florentine Podcast. It's very simple.
We were listening to your show last night, driving home from Long Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What show?
Your music show they replayed.
Oh, Ozzy's Boneyard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Was on last night.
Man, you stop the flow.
No, I contribute.
You embarrass everybody and you stop the flow at the same time.
I get a lot of compliments for my appearances.
Do you?
Oh, yeah. People are
Stern
loving
fans.
the mustache.
Stern fans thanking you for
We had
derailing
a
us.
great time on Long Island this weekend. The Brokerage is a great club.
I heard it was amazing shows.
Yeah,
sold
great
out and
crowds.
amazing shows. Great crowds.
Yep.
Did you watch any of the football games? That's what everyone's talking about today.
I don't do that.
You don't watch football?
No, I don't have time for sports.
We watched a little. We were together. We watched a little bit in the. We were having lunch.
We were having a luncheon.
You really don't watch football games?
Negative.
Never got into sports and nothing? Baseball? Nothing?
Not really.
Yeah.
What's the difference between having lunch and having a luncheon?
Depends who you're with.
Oh.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you accomplished what you wanted to with your appearance today?
No, we could talk more about your mugs or your T-shirts.
No, we're good.
You know,
Yes.
we have some Opie Radio T-shirts to give away.
We do.
I got 2 big boxes of your T-shirts in my office.
Oh, that was, because we moved to another supplier.
Extra stock.
Yeah.
Give me
I mean,
one. I'll wear it on. I'll wear it on that metal show this season. I'll wear it on TV.
Slavo shirt?
Yeah, whatever you want. Yeah.
Nice.
When are you taping?
Mid-February we start.
Good.
Yeah, February 21st, new episodes.
Who do you got this year?
I don't know who's booked yet. They're in the process of doing it now. We're going to do 12 weeks every Saturday starting mid-February.
You do a very good job on that show. It's not in my wheelhouse, metal music. You know that. But I watched a few because of you, and you do a very good job with it.
Yeah, I mean,
There's bands I have no idea about that you bring out. The crowd loses their fucking minds. I'm like, I have no idea who this band is. I just know the basics.
Yeah, we got a nice little niche audience that knows that stuff.
Right.
And we're on a little, shitty channel in the middle of nowhere. Everyone leaves us alone. Perfect.
That is perfect.
Because if we were on like NBC after American Idol or something like that, or even a bigger network, we'd be done in 2 seconds.
They've never told you to not do something?
No.
That's great.
No, they pretty much give us free reign, it's just basically an interview show.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Iommi's doing. Tony Iommi's talking about his cancer. He says, I might be alive for 10 years. I might be alive for a year.
What?
Yeah, in an interview recently. It's fucking. I hope he's all right.
What kind of cancer does he have?
It was it lymph node or
Yeah, lymphoma or something like that.
lymphoma? Yeah. Oh yeah, lymphoma.
He's got to get treatments the rest of his life.
It's brutal. They had to do their tour around his cancer treatments.
Right.
They'd go out for a few weeks, come back for 3 weeks for radiation. So I hope he's okay.
Is he going to be part of that Oz? What is it called? Oz Fiesta?
Oz Fiesta? No, that's Ozzy's solo band, I think.
Yeah.
That's at the end of May, early
Oh, right.
June.
Yeah,
in,
of course.
Mexico.
That's an Ozzy thing, yeah. Oh, Sam's walking down the hall with a box of shirts.
That's nice.
We moved to another supplier, so the shirts will be even better. So we have these laying around. So the guy sent them here. Sam.
Let me get the door. Hold on, Sam.
You didn't get the door for him.
No, I just wanted him to stand there holding the heavy box.
We're off to a good start with the show, and now it's going nowhere with this shit.
Well, I know. I'm trying to spice it up a little. Who wants shirts?
You got Words Hurt. You got,
Why'd you move suppliers? You have a problem?
no, so we could do more stuff.
A large.
Will you stop? We can do this later. That no one wants one of these shirts right now. They might not even want it ever.
I'll tell you my size off air later.
Don't put it. Why are you putting people on the spot?
My brother would like one, too.
What size
He's
is
a
he?
fan. I'd say he's probably extra large.
Cool.
It's a small.
Can we do this during the break?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I just want to make sure. Oh, these are only.
When we come back, maybe we can discuss the Bill Cosby hecklers.
Why don't we discuss? Do we have that audio clip, Sam?
Let me check.
For real. Kenny fucked up the whole show. I appreciate that he just moved some merch for me, but now we got to get back on track here.
And there's a lot of complaining, by the way, that the U.S. did not send anybody to Paris for this giant Charlie Hebdo peace rally or whatever.
I don't get involved with the Obama shit. Like, oh, he's too busy playing golf. He's too busy on vacation. Oh, what does he do? I never get involved with that shit. But this one, I'm like, fuck, man. We should have sent somebody, whether it's Obama or some kind of representation.
Send Biden or Kerry or something like. You could have.
They really fucking dropped the ball on this. There was 4 million people that marched in Paris.
Maybe, but it's also a huge security risk. And I guarantee you, it was because Eric Holder was in Paris. I guarantee you, it was a security issue. That's the only reason.
But there has to be someone where you're like, all right.
I think that puts other people, because a U.S. target is such a target for militants like that,
right?
That they might have actually done something to shoot a U.S. target.
There were some big names that took part in this, so I think you gotta figure it out as a country, and you gotta have someone down there marching with the people.
I didn't mind that they didn't.
Who was the second biggest world leader that didn't make it?
I don't know. I don't even know who made it. I know Mahmoud Abbas from Palestine and the Israeli PM. There's a bunch of guys went, but
British Prime Minister was there.
All right, good.
Oh yeah, the German Chancellor. I think they call him the German Chancellor. He was there. We should have had somebody.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think Obama personally, because the security risk, and I don't think Biden.
Holder.
But maybe a Holder, or maybe someone after Holder.
Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, Hillary.
Somebody. Fucking Chuck Schumer would have done it. He loves publicity. He would have done it.
Yeah, somebody could have been there. But it just seemed like if there was a problem, there's no way the Secret Service could have protected.
You don't really have a problem with this?
No, because I think it was probably not to be a dick. I really think that they were concerned about security.
They probably had some inside info about threats and all the stuff that they couldn't. They were really worried about it. They were probably worried about their own safety. So then when you bring the U.S. in, they probably traded intelligence and goes, look, man, it's probably not a good idea. Some shit could go down.
Right.
Yeah.
It
could have easily been something like that.
It's possible. And the people from the magazine say we vomit on all these people who say they're our friends.
I loved that they said that.
Me too.
Yeah. Good for them. You know, they're holding strong because everyone's coming out to support them. And like, look, half these people that are supporting us, we fucking vomit on
the same people
on a daily basis.
They're the same people who would have been saying how tasteless they were,
right,
and terrible, and how rude and offensive to Islam. And now they're coming out and supporting them. So I like the fact that they're saying "fuck you" too.
Right. Definitely.
I wrote a little article about.
Did you really?
Ooh, it's not up yet, but it's supposed to go up on time.com if they.
Holy shit! Nice.
If they run it.
Well, they've run your stuff.
Yeah, but I never have any faith they will.
Yeah, but they've run a couple now.
Has there ever been an article you wrote that they didn't?
No. Well, they asked me to write it. I mean, I just my self-esteem says that they won't run it because I have low self-esteem. I don't know why. Because I was masturbating at age 10 after I got my penis stuck up between a Hulk doll, and I ran into the bathroom.
Wait, what did you put it
Long
between?
story. We'll get into it another day.
Wait, you put it between a Hulk doll?
Yeah,
your dick?
Hulk doll.
I thought I've heard all the stories.
So you were fucking the doll, basically?
No. I just had a little buddy who sucked my penis while I was holding the Hulk doll.
So it looked like Hulk had a big, giant penis.
Well, relative. Well, I didn't come. I was too young.
But I mean, compared to the doll, even if you have a small one, it looks like a giant penis for Hulk, though.
Yeah, it was nice.
Oh, that's a little strange.
My friend was a Hulk fan.
Did he enjoy it?
I think so. I did.
Was there any foreplay before?
No.
No,
it's just too young. It's just.
How old were you?
19. No, I was very young. I don't remember. I remember it was my.
You guys didn't start by holding hands first?
No, it wasn't about that. There's no love
about that.
My biggest fear being a father is I want my kids to have a healthy sex life.
Absolutely.
And what can you do at this age that's going to fuck it up?
Yeah.
I guess it all depends. We were always, in those 8 days, we were a lot more alone time in the suburbs. Your kid won't have the alone time with, you know what I mean? Like,
you're not allowed to leave your kid alone
hours of alone time every day in the woods. Just suburban's a little different.
Right.
Breaking windows, vandalize, stuff that they just won't be
Everything
doing.
now is it's a play date, and the fucking parents have to get together, and they have a little coffee. That's why we don't do play dates.
Yeah, because I
hate play dates.
We would get home at 3 o'clock, and go out and play, be home
the
at 6.
sun goes down.
At 6 for dinner or whatever.
Right.
So you're just missing for 3 hours. Do whatever you want.
There's a lot of opportunities to get your dick sucked.
Yeah, you bet there was.
By deviants.
Yeah. And your little pals. No, you're right, though.
I'm not calling you a deviant. I meant in general, though.
You're not wrong.
There's a lot of fucking deviants out there in the woods waiting.
Was he any good?
Waiting for a stray.
If I remember correctly, it was dynamite. Yeah.
No teeth? No, that kid's a fucking champ at 10.
Yeah, but
he's not even using teeth.
Not with my dick. My teeth wouldn't have hit my dick at that age.
No,
I was just not a large boy as a child. Small hairless penis, embarrassing. Even the Hulk doll was humiliated. Like, don't paint that green. I want people to know it's not mine.
I'm throwing my kids' Hulk dolls out. He's in a Hulk phase right now. So now,
my son's got like 9 of them.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, I was holding it.
He's got the Hulk fist now, so he's punching the shit out of his sister. That's good. Thanks for that Christmas gift, whoever gave that one to me. Oh, that's right. It's E-Rock.
E-Rock has one at home. He sits on it.
It was very nice of E-Rock and his wife to give my kids gifts. But
that's
now,
cool. Must have been a nice affair to get together and go to E-Rock's house and been invited. Must have been nice.
Now the big Hulk fists are being used on my little daughter.
I wasn't invited.
Why didn't you go?
I just wasn't invited.
Oh, so
meanwhile, I invited E-Rock to dinner many times. We've gone out and eaten.
Well, it was an intimate affair. I think. I think there's two things going on here. Maybe that wasn't the proper time to invite Jim Norton, but maybe you should invite Jim Norton over for something else there, Eric.
No,
I would love to.
No, I'm not interested.
Seems like the other thing was just for friends.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, right?
It was two couples getting together.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not a sexual.
If there was one other person there that was in the friend category, then I would see Jimmy's point.
When you're couples and you're like, there is a thing that just couples do together, but it's always like when you're that good of friends, when you know each other that well, the couples things. I know your wife very well. I know E-Rock's wife very well. It's not awkward.
You just want to be invited because I invited you to my family party and you didn't come.
Yeah, I was busy. Or I might have forgot, actually. But no, I like.
So I should be
like
mad
that.
now that you didn't show up.
I'm good at that. I was always working, actually. I'm good with stuff like that.
Yeah, Jimmy likes being invited to things, and he shows up most of the time too.
I do.
You
show a good guest.
Came to Christmas Eve with my family.
Like, what would I have done at the couples thing that would have wrecked the vibe of the couples?
Was it your whole family?
Hey, what's sex like between you two? Hey, how about you two? What do you think I was going to do?
Well, was it your whole family and Jim Norton, or were there other people that weren't part of your family?
And a girl I was seeing.
Yeah, it was my family, Jess's family, and then Jim and the chick he was seeing.
But that's normal in Jim's world.
That was it. I was happy.
Did you
have
feel
him.
a little awkward? You were the only outsider, technically.
No, not at all. I mean, I'm friends with Sam. I love his family.
Made you feel welcome, right?
Yeah, they're really nice people.
How was the girl he brought, Sam?
Not bad.
Yeah.
Was she nice though? Was she proper?
She was great.
Appropriate?
Yeah. Everybody.
Yeah, she was drinking a little.
Yeah.
Was
Not
she?
bad. Yeah.
A little too much?
No, she was just having fun on Christmas holidays.
You have a little smile on your face. Was she drinking a little too much?
She puke on the way home?
No. She's a professional.
Were you looking at her like, oh, geez, can you please maybe, stop that?
I was more thinking of sexual things.
You were?
So you just bypassed all that on the way home? She was hammered, probably babbling.
No, she wasn't bad. I think she was in a good mood. I don't remember. I don't remember.
You still with this young lady?
Oh no, this is not this Christmas. The one before.
Oh, it wasn't this past Christmas.
You know who she is. It was only a couple.
I know exactly.
It was only a couple of months.
Nothing worse than you're sober and a chick's babbling and she's drunk.
That's hard if they're really babbling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't drink a lot. I don't drink a lot. Jimmy doesn't drink at all.
No.
So. Yeah, that was always a little strange.
When me and Jim were living together, there was this one girl. She came up to visit me from like North Carolina or whatever, and she annoyed the shit out of me so bad. I took her to one of my local gigs, and she was drunk and just babbling on the way home. She annoyed the shit out of me so bad. When I got home, Jim was home. I go, Jim, let her sleep in your room tonight. I can't deal with it. I just threw her out of my room. I go, just go in Jim's room. And I think Jim wound up banging her that night.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me say.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And she said, okay, I'll just sleep in his room.
Look, you can't sleep in my...
Is this the girl you mean?
Yep.
I remember her. No, I don't think that night I didn't do anything. I don't believe so. He didn't care about her. She wasn't a girlfriend. She was just some chick. I did wind up hooking up with her, but it was at a later time after they weren't at all. I don't think that night I fucked her. I mean, we might have made out. I don't remember.
No, what's great with what just happened there? He had to write a name down because he wasn't sure which girl came to see Florentine, but ended up sleeping in Norton's bed.
I vaguely remember. I forgot that ever. I thought about her not long ago. Was this girl? Was she from North Carolina? Right. Mm-hmm. And maybe you might have just said that. And she was sexy, man. She was really fucking. Did she move to England?
I don't know.
But she bothered you so much, you said go sleep with Jim, and how did she handle that? Was she okay with that?
She was mad because we were hanging with Jim before, like the whole day. She came for a couple days to stay.
Right.
So we were all hanging. We went to lunch and all that stuff. So we were all getting along and this and that. And then, I just took her to one of my shows that night. I couldn't take it anymore. It was like the second. Maybe she came for 3 days, and by the second night, she was
2 days would have been plenty, right?
Yeah. I should only invite her for 2.
Right.
So I just said,
one
look,
day too much.
You can't stay in my room, and I locked the door. I just go in Jim. She was calling me an asshole, whatever. And
maybe I did fuck around with her. I don't remember.
Eventually you did, though.
Yeah, I know that, but I just... you know where I fucked around with her? In Vegas. When I was opening for Dice, she happened to be in Vegas for something else. And in a Vegas hotel room, she came up. We didn't have... I don't think I ever fucked her. If I did, it was for a second. And I remember taking pictures of her ass. She showed me her ass in my bed. She happened to be in Vegas for something. So she came to... This is like 98, maybe. I was touring with Andrew, and it was the Venetian.
Yeah.
And I remember the pictures. It was on the bedspread of the Venetian. And I think that's where I finally got something. I don't think I got anything from her at our house at all. Maybe just a hug or whatever, but I don't think I got anything.
She slept in your bed that night, though.
Yeah, but we didn't fuck. We definitely didn't fuck.
Wow, how do you not?
First of all, because she was probably way drunk, and she might have just been mad at Jim. No, but she might have just been like not in a fun, sexy mood. I don't remember.
But he would have been fine with it.
Nah, I don't. I wouldn't have done it unless I knew 100% he was.
Please, I would have came in the room if he was fucking her and pushed his cheeks to go fucking faster. I didn't care. No, I told him. I said, look, if you want to bang her, no problem. I said. Right. No, I didn't care.
I'm amazed by Jim Norton's self-control. He has told me stories over the years, some not even worthy for the radio show, really. And I'm like, how the fuck did you not? I don't understand your self-control sometimes.
Well, I know she liked me, so it was going to be tough for her a couple hours later to bang my roommate.
Right. Yeah, because then she thought that might ruin it with him.
But you threw her right into his bed.
I know. She was that crazy, she probably thought, like, in the morning I was going to be fine.
You didn't have a couch where you're like, hey, man, can you sleep on the couch?
No, I wanted Jim to get laid.
Wow.
So I said, no, go in Jim's room.
Yeah, Jim's a good friend. Jim's a good friend. He helped me out. He helped out his wayward buddy.
Well, he put up like Hall of Fame numbers.
He did. And I was a good guy. I had good intentions. I loved the game.
Right.
I just never could get up to Major League Ball.
He had to drop a few down to the AA ball.
Yeah, he would. He would send a couple girls down to the minors.
Right. You're not ready for the majors. I'm going to throw you back to AA.
Yeah.
You're going to Toledo tonight.
But then once the money started getting spent, more so, and if we can count those stats, I'm very, very comfortable with my place in the game as a whole. If the money's exchange,
if Jim makes the Hall, there's probably an asterisk next to his number. It might be like a PED thing, like there's rumors.
Rumors?
Yeah, rumors, and there's some confirmation.
His numbers are inflated.
But he still put up some good numbers.
Yeah, there was money. They weren't all completely women.
That's great. All right, so where were we? Oh, Bill Cosby, right?
Yeah.
Which one is this? So Bill Cosby,
he's black comic, old.
Did we play the audio of him going after one of the hecklers?
Did he go after him or just?
Well, not going after. He made a joke, and everyone was outraged that Bill Cosby made a joke about it. But from a comedy stage, especially, I had no problem that he made.
Yeah, she was walking by the stage, and he said, "Where are you going?" She goes, "I'm going to get a drink."
Yeah.
And he said something like, "You shouldn't get a drink around me."
Right.
You shouldn't go get a drink around me, which is, as a comic, you're just riffing.
He's trying. What Cosby is doing, because he's never been a guy that did like edgy stuff. He's trying to bring this to stage, like, because he can't survive on stage unless he addresses it.
Yeah.
He just can't. And he probably feels like a total fraud. It's almost like if you're standing on stage nude, everyone in the room knows you're nude, you know you're nude, but you're not mentioning you're nude and you're pretending everything's normal. You can only suspend disbelief so much for something like stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
You can in a movie, you can a little bit differently. Like, Travolta kisses girls, we're all like, that's cute. But you know what I mean? In a stand-up stage, because you're in the room together, it's kind of hard to suspend disbelief.
Right.
I think, or to suspend with this stuff.
So this is the other one where everyone stood up?
Yeah.
And what did they say on this one again?
We support the women.
Call him a rapist.
Well, what? Yeah,
you are a rapist. I think they all stood up and said you are a rapist.
And then one guy, after everyone got thrown out, another guy stood up after it got quiet again and goes, "You piece of shit, you're a rapist." And I have mixed feelings about this because I never like people to heckle or anything, but it's like 20 or so, more than 20 rape allegations. That's a fucking brutal, brutal thing, man. That's not just one or two people saying something.
I think you got to support the hecklers on this one because he's not talking about this shit publicly or barely. and he's not acknowledging this stuff on a stage. Like you said, your analogy of, being naked, everyone knows you're naked, and you're not talking about being naked. I have no problem with this.
The best move he should have done is just canceled all his dates for like a year.
Yeah, no kidding.
So just lay low.
He doesn't need the money.
Let's see what happens with this thing, and then come back in a year and just do smaller venues, and the people are going to support you.
Right.
Are going to support you. Just let this blow over. It's too much of a hot topic right now. Where you're going to get this shit.
And he's in a terrible spot as a guy. Let's just say as a guy, he's in a bad spot because if he starts denying it publicly, I don't know what the legality of it is where you're opening yourself up for fucking litigation because there was already one woman who you signed off.
Too many names. Too many people coming forward. There's just too many.
Too many, man. Too many. All the same story.
I believe he did some shit. He did some shit back in the day.
I don't think they're all lying. It just doesn't make sense to me that many fucking people are lying.
Even if half were lying, which would be crazy, that's still a lot of people.
Yeah.
Isn't it over 20 women now?
I believe so.
Yeah. So let's say half, which is ridiculous. I don't even think that's even possible. That means there's still at least 10 that have some serious problems with Bill Cosby and what he did back in the day. Man.
So you think his wife knew what was going on?
Yeah.
Like, not that he was actually drugging them, but just knew that there was other women and she just looked the other way the whole time in a marriage?
She knew there were other women and she said that.
I think she
did. At one point, yeah.
I think she knew there were other women. I don't think, for the most part, until recently, that she knew exactly what was going on to this extent. I don't believe that.
She said something like when Bill went through a selfish phase. Like, I forget what it was, but I think that, I'm guessing that's what they were referring
I don't think she knew that he was allegedly, putting the pills in the people. Got to see the Golden Globes for that. Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. I don't think she knew that part of it. They probably had some kind of open relationship. Maybe she was done with the sex part of the relationship and said, go do your fucking thing. Who cares?
This is way back in the 60s even, though. And the 70s. When she
and
was
80s.
Still, she was still young.
The story's all the way up to the 80s. Oh, yeah, you know what? But maybe she found out years. I don't know.
No, she knew. I think that she knew he was doing something, but you're married into an empire. Like, he was one of the biggest guys in the country. I mean, he was a comedy icon from the 60s on. You deal with it. You're married to an icon.
You're attracted to the money, the lifestyle, everything else. If you leave him, you'll get some. But still, she liked walking the red carpets, going to movie premieres, doing whatever, flying on private planes.
Because she would get enough money.
She would get enough money.
An amazing life. But she wouldn't get that other shit, that VIP shit.
You wouldn't get any of that stuff. You'd have a nice big mansion, but you wouldn't get any of that stuff anymore.
You're Camille Cosby. I mean, you're married to an iconic name. There's very few names more famous than Cosby in our country.
And
he's loved.
That means women are weak. Why would they put up with that shit? Not women. I shouldn't just fucking make a blanket statement like that. But some women are weak if that's what motivates them.
Yeah, I mean,
it's that lifestyle.
They don't want to give up who they're with.
Right.
The idea of being Hillary Clinton. I mean, it wasn't the daughter that she was worried about. I think it was probably the fact that she didn't want to give up being Hillary Clinton to be a divorced woman.
Right. Well, she didn't want to give up her political career.
Yeah, because you get divorced.
Fucked.
Yeah, you're not getting in.
What do you think's going on there? That's a total. They both understand each other, right?
She probably. I'm guessing she got mad because he embarrassed her.
Right.
Like, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, by bringing her in the White House,
you idiot.
Coming on a dress.
We all know what's going on here, but you have to be smarter about this.
An intern, you dummy, an intern. Oh,
right.
I'd love to have heard this fucking conversation.
Right.
Yeah,
because she's more mad that he got caught than he was cheating.
Those were not good conversations.
Yeah.
Those were angry conversations.
Why? She's not going to be our next president. Fucking, I saw, what was it, Friday? Romney? What is he?
He has a good shot because I'm telling you.
He doesn't have a good shot. How does he have a good shot?
I don't know if people want a Bush or a Clinton again. It's a good time to be another name.
I think it's going to be some, kind of upstart. Not an upstart, obviously, but someone we don't know as well as we talk here in 2015.
Armand Shafly is a good candidate from Florida.
What's his name?
Armand Shafly.
What's he done? I don't know.
What's his thing? Is he a senator down there? I got to look at my senators. He's a congressman. What is he?
He's a senator and a congressman.
Yeah,
really?
Armand Shafly.
Where's he from?
You figure that out yourself.
Is he a Republican?
I mean, it doesn't sound like an American name.
Is he a Republican?
Like, what's a good issue that he's behind?
Democrat?
Is there anything that
a moderate or is left leaning or right? What is it?
New sidewalks.
New sidewalks.
New sidewalks.
He feels that the whole country needs new sidewalks so we can walk safely and comfortably. That's his rally cry.
How could you make that kind of blanket statement over the entire country? Some cities' sidewalks are fine.
Yeah, I know, but he's like a little OCD, and he wants to just do all the new sidewalks. That's his whole thing. In 8 years, I'll have every sidewalk in this country fixed.
Oh, and what's his name?
Armand Fly.
Oh, no, he's forgetting the name already. He usually doesn't forget the name so quickly.
Well, it's a hard name to spell. It's JDS. UFFLEY. Just Fly.
Oh.
Just Fly.
And his first name's Armand?
Yeah, with 2 A's.
Oh.
What nationality is he with that name?
Polish.
Oh.
Is he born in Poland?
No.
Born in America?
No.
But then how could he be president?
Yeah, you got
to be.
You got to be.
Oh, he was born in America. I'm sorry. His mother was impregnated in Africa.
Obama wasn't born in America.
His mom was impregnated in Africa?
Yes, that's where. Well, that's what they think.
They don't know?
This Flies met. The parents met in Africa.
Well, why would he pick sidewalks as an issue?
I don't know. He had weird stuff with his feet. He's in a wheelchair, so I think that he's tired of going over bumps and spilling his coffee. I think that's the big issue. No more coffee spills. I saw him in a rally. It wasn't going well.
Why wasn't it going well?
No one wanted to chant with him because they just didn't relate to it. They were all holding their coffee fine.
Well, maybe his chant was a little wordy.
Yeah, no more coffee spills. And then when you look at his feet, they're all twisted, like in the theory of everything. Stephen Hawking's feet. You're like, ugh, I'll look at that all day.
Don't you think a better topic would be pave all the roads, no potholes, make them all smooth? More people can relate to that.
People have pointed that out, but he felt that would just be too much money. It's too expensive.
Okay. All right.
Sounds a little selfish.
No, he just wants new sidewalks and ramps
for his wheelchair.
I don't know, but he said that he's tired of steps.
Because with his twisted up feet, it doesn't sound like he can drive.
Yeah, they're really awful. Sometimes, like, he doesn't have shoes on, he doesn't know it, and his feet are just dragging on the concrete, getting chafed.
Oh my God. You can't feel them.
No, you can't feel them. People have to say, Armand, your feet are bleeding. Hey, Jen.
I don't think he has a shot.
I don't know. I think he's a good man. He's a good shot.
You think a guy in a wheelchair can win the presidency? You think
it already happened. FDR, right?
Yeah.
Was it FDR?
Or Teddy.
Oh, maybe. I want to say. I don't remember who. I want to say.
I always forget. I'm going to go with Teddy. I think it was Teddy.
Yeah, you might be right.
I'm going to fucking take a chance here.
I
don't think it was FDR. I think it was.
Fuck! Really?
Yeah, look it up.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Theodore Roosevelt was.
Well, you know what
horses
the FDR wasn't even his name. People would go, "Fucking dude's rolling."
Look at this Armand guy.
Yeah. No, he's not online.
Google it.
He rejects the internet.
Guy.
No.
Google it.
He doesn't like the internet.
It was FDR because Theodore Roosevelt was a rough rider.
Yeah.
He rode horses.
Yeah, no, he rode dogs. Rough.
Yeah, but later in his life, he got fucked up polio or legs or something.
It was FDR. It was Franklin.
Yeah, Frankie did.
I'm going to go with Teddy.
Okay, well, it's not him.
Well, let's fix the Wikipedia page then. Okay. There's issues here.
Sam, we look up Armand.
Okay, it's 2 A's.
AARMONDE.
ONDE?
AARMONDE. DJSUFFLEY.
So I'm going to make sure I have this right. The first name is AARMONDE.
Yeah, with the little dash over the E.
Okay, and then the last name is DJSUFFLEY.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Just do a little click on the Google here.
All right, let's see what happens.
Probably a lot of stuff.
Well,
he said he doesn't love the internet, though. He's having a weird. How do you
not like the internet?
He just thinks that it's just too much.
But that's how he's going to get.
The closest is some house DJ named
DJ Shuffle.
Yeah, I know he is.
DJ Shuffle.
I think
DJ Shuffle?
Yeah, he had a lot of his Google mentions taken down because he just felt they were slanders.
You can't get Google stuff taken down.
And he doesn't want pictures of himself within the wheelchair. He feels this, and he had like a whole illegal thing, so he went and got a lot of the stuff taken down.
But once he starts campaigning, there's going to be pictures of him in the wheelchair.
No, he's asked people not to.
And they're going to abide by that.
Yeah, he likes a lot of times. What happens is he gets to a rally, and I've seen this. It's wonderful. And there's a bunch of steps, and somebody will actually carry him up like a little infant. And they have a big tall chair. They put him in it, and he just says, "No pictures, please."
And then they just don't take him?
Yeah, why would they? We're all supporters.
He's Polish?
But they say.
Oh.
I think he has a real shot.
I do too.
Now that I know more about him.
The only problem is sometimes the podium, it can't be a glass podium, because I noticed one time people were pointing and snickering because his feet were just dangling and the fan was on. It was just blowing his feet like wind chimes.
Like a compound fracture? It's like going back and
it was
forth.
both of his little twisted
Just
feet.
hanging.
It was one shoe on, one shoe off. Really, it was really awful.
Did he have any idea that it was happening?
None whatsoever. No, he didn't even know the fan was on. His legs, apparently he's dead from mid-chest down.
Mid-chest?
That's what they say, yeah.
So like the bottom of his nipples, he doesn't even feel anything.
No, not at all.
So his dick doesn't work.
I wouldn't know about that. He's got children.
What are their names?
I have to look that up.
How old are they?
35 and 9.
What?
35 and 9?
Yeah, it's a lot of talk because he's 40. A lot of speculation about Armand, the child. That's why some people prying into his personal business.
Yeah.
Because he may or may not have fathered a child at 5.
Well, we don't like to talk about that.
Right.
It's just private life.
Is it possible?
And a lot of people think that it might not be his
What
kid.
happened to
That has
wife?
nothing to do with the sidewalk.
Is it possible to father a kid at 5?
Well, I think it's a little odd. There's been this slanderous talk of how it's not even his kid. It's just a man that he lives with and has sex with.
Oh.
I don't buy it at all. He has a wife.
Wait, he lives with a man?
No, he doesn't. It's his son.
Oh.
How did he get in the wheelchair? What happened to him?
There's rumors that this 35-year-old person, and this is the slander.
Yeah, it's libelous. Slanderous
This
talk.
libelous slander is his gay lover who he's just calling his son.
Yeah, because he's Latin, and people don't believe that.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Have they met the mother of that child?
No. She's not a big spotlight hog, and he hurt himself.
How?
He was injured. He was in he was hit with a bat and injured when he was a teenager. He was in a place trying to stop pornography, and there was a little room where these men hang out, and there's like holes in the walls, and he was
Like
trying
a
to.
glory hole.
I don't know what they're called, but he's trying to spackle one up, and a man came and assaulted him with a bat and accused Armand of kneeling down and putting his mouth against the hole and going, nom, 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 nom.
So how did it paralyze him though? With a bat?
Yeah, they hit him really hard.
He just never got his legs fixed.
Never got him fixed.
So he just got his legs crushed because he was trying to spackle up Gloria.
Yeah, and he's just man told a different story. The man said that he was trying to do something with his
Why
mouth.
didn't he
I
go
don't
to the
know.
hospital and get his legs fixed?
He's a bit of a procrastinator, what he was in his younger days. And by the time he got around to it, they said your spine is shattered. It's no good.
It's no good.
Yeah,
Have this wheelchair.
yeah. He didn't know any better.
Well,
He just went about his life until he couldn't walk anymore.
Well, he's motivated now because he's going for the presidency.
Absolutely.
So now
He figured out some motivation in
God
his
bless
life.
him.
But now they're all going to find out his background and stuff like that. The press that are going to realize he was in a peep booth and a
It's
glory
a bunch
hole.
of lies. It's a bunch of lies. That's why he's not online. That's why he refuses that website.
And that he may or may not have a gay lover
No, he doesn't. He has his son.
who's only 5 years younger than him.
It's his son. Helps him. Just hates wearing shirts.
But we're not sure it's his son.
Is he a muscular guy?
Very.
Does he look like the guy in the wheelchair's bodyguard in Clockwork Orange?
He has a body like that, but he has a face like E-Rock. Which is really, he's like a Latin E-Rock.
A Latin E-Rock.
With a beard.
Is his mouth generally agape?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they've said, that his Latin son with a beard and a big fat head and an amazing body and a genuinely stupid look on his face at all times.
Oh, I think he's got a shot.
I do too. I support
I
him.
look forward to seeing his name.
I do too.
You mean in
the primaries.
Just a flea?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just fly.
It's fly.
Yeah, you gotta say fly. at the
Yeah,
end.
just a flea is the wrong pronunciation.
Right.
That's probably why you couldn't find it.
It's just a fly.
Yeah. Well, Bill Cosby.
Well, we're going to do Bill Cosby now after the break.
Okay.
We're going to do some Bill Cosby after the break. We're also, you know what? I didn't realize you pulled these, Sam. With
Mine and Jim's cocks.
I got here.
We have highlights from the big Jeffrey Tambor interview that went down, and now that he's a big Golden Globes winner, maybe we look back at the time we didn't take his new project seriously, which is winning all the awards now.
I feel like he came in to promote Transparent, and this may be the interview that put him over the top as far as Golden Globes go.
But the time before that, he came in and, like Jimmy said earlier in the show, he was a big goofball and beating the shit out of each other in a joking fashion. So we thought we were having the same Jeffrey Tambor again.
And we didn't give him a bad interview. I raved about the project and thought it was great.
You actually saw the first couple episodes.
Oh, you know what, buddy? I didn't at that time. I didn't. No one had seen it.
Yeah, nobody.
We saw it after. Afterwards, we had seen it. I raved about it because it was despite him being a little odd, it was even a brilliant performance.
Well, obviously, it's a brilliant performance because he won the big award and the show won the big award
for TV.
He was the big winner last night at the Golden Globes. So.
That's a tough one to beat, man. Like Ricky and Louie, those guys can't be mad about that. He was fucking awesome in that. Like you lost to a great role.
And trans is very in right now.
I'll say.
Does that make you happy that trans is very in right now?
I'm happy, yeah, of course. I mean,
you're ahead of the trend, huh?
Well, let's just
you're
say
a hipster in the trans world.
I've been talking about it long before it was fashionable, but no, I'm happy.
But no one wanted to listen to you.
No, but I made them.
There's some uncomfortable clips here. There's some uncomfortable clips here. Maybe we should revisit this.
Yeah, what do you mean?
After the break.
Sam? Hold on, let's show you.
What did you say?
You had a penis in it.
Well, my mouth?
Yeah.
That's not true at all.
Oh.
When?
And we got Florentine here. He's got a big podcast going up today with Tyson Walter, who is a real good friend of ours. He used to play for the Cowboys and the Packers. Yeah. I think he might even play.
He played with the Texans and the Redskins.
Yeah,
too.
He had a bunch of teams, and then he retired. And he's a good friend of ours. And you did a podcast with him, and he's given some insight on what goes on in the locker room and stuff, and more stuff about the NFL.
Well, he kept getting thrown off teams for funny business in the locker room.
Funny business?
Yeah.
What kind of funny business with Tyson Walter?
Just innuendo and fun touching. Like he'd slap a guy in the ass and congratulate him, but the guy hadn't scored. He was the equipment manager. Can I plug something? I want to plug my Tempe dates. I'll be out there. I'm doing a roast. So I'll be at the Tempe Improv. January 30th and 31st, where I will
Super Bowl weekend.
No Cowboys being in the Super Bowl pressure. And, the Connecticut, I'll be in Foxwoods the 13th of February, only one show in that theater. And then Jim and I together are doing Oz Fiesta with Ozzy and Zach Wilde and Black Label Society, May 27th through the 31st, the Hard Rock in Riviera Maya, Mexico. It's supposed to be fucking amazing there.
Yeah, it's basically 5 days on the beach hanging with Ozzy.
I know.
It's going to be awesome.
We had Ozzy and Sharon here.
I know. I was here that day.
Yeah, and I got the big invite.
You going?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything since. She's like, you should go too.
They would have you.
That's my
it's very realistic.
Well, that meant, buy a ticket and go.
It was a little shady. You should go too. Like, well, okay, what do I do, Sharon?
No, it's not you should come to. You should come as an invite. You should come too.
I got the you should go too. We'd love to have you. One of those.
I may bring you as my +1. I'm allowed to bring somebody. And I have nobody. So I'm just waiting to hear back from Sam.
Do we have to share a hotel room?
A bed. There's only one room. But we're friends, dude. I wouldn't queer off with you.
We're allowed to bring one or two. It might even be two, possibly.
Yeah?
No, not for me.
Okay, then maybe one.
All right.
You could bring a friend.
And I'll be in Atlanta this weekend.
Right.
Laughing Skull Comedy Club, Thursday through Sunday, and the following weekend, January 24, 25, Laughing Comedy Club in Fort Myers, Florida.
Oh, you get to go do all the warm cities.
Yeah.
You're smart.
Dallas was freezing this past weekend. It was like 25 degrees.
Right.
It was
You're
brutal.
still smart, though. I took fucking Buffalo, Toronto, Long Island, and then Boston. I'm a dumb cunt.
Yeah, man, this is the time of year you fucking say, hey, I love my
going
fans
to Florida
in
for a couple
Florida.
days before, hang.
Smart. You break the winter in half. Next thing you know, you only did like 15 days up here.
Absolutely.
Go see Florentine. He's hilarious down in Atlanta. I hope you get a good crowd down there.
It's a little club. It holds 80 people. It's fucking.
Oh, Jesus.
It's a great
Let's sell
club.
this fucking thing out.
Laughing Skull Comedy Club. It's amazing, this club. It's like a little theater. Little, like, theater seating. Holds 80 people.
I never did that. There was one with Nick DiPaolo I did. I don't remember. With me and Nick co-headlined. I don't remember. Maybe that wasn't it. But I've heard the Laughing Skull is very good.
It's a great club.
We also have to get Dr. Steve on the phone. I was talking to him last night. He did a whole thing on squirting and peeing.
On video?
I think so, yeah.
Just him doing
I think
it.
he took a few loads in the face he was doing some kind of experiment, I think. But we'll have him on the phone hopefully after the break.
Can I just address something?
Oh, shit. What do we do
I'm not
wrong
gay.
now?
Just a thought I had to address to myself.
Did you want us to back you up there?
Yeah, I was hoping.
All right, this is it. Steven Singer has a very important announcement. We made the announcement last week, Sam. Why do we have to make it again like we didn't make it last week? This guy annoys the hell out of me.
He gave us a bunch of money to do it.
Oh, he gave you some money?
Yeah.
Did my envelope arrive? My little envelope? Did I get an envelope?
There's a little something.
You know, the fine people at Arctic Zero, they gave me an envelope over the weekend. Huh? What?
Don't worry about anything else. Just
Arctic Zero. They make these desserts, and they're like 35 calories a serving. Although you need a couple servings, let's be honest with each other. But if you eat the whole quart of their dessert, you're only talking 140 calories. Why are you laughing at the Slabo? That's a giant shirt.
Because there's a 5X. Anybody who's wearing a T-shirt that's 5X,
holy
and has the nerve to have Slabo written on it.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to buy a 5XL Slabo shirt, man. I got to fire some people in my organization. That shirt is giant.
Eric's not happy.
Eric, I swear to you, it's not about you anymore. The Slabo thing took off, and I just fucking ran with it. He said it. He looked at you with the big 5XL Slabo shirt.
You gotta turn it to me.
You know it's not about you, though, right? It was in the beginning.
It wasn't in the beginning.
But then I was thinking numbers. I said, fuck it. I know this is going to bother Eric. I'll tell you my thinking.
You sell out.
So I'm going to fucking sell the Slabo shirts, but I'm never going to mention E-Rock again in the same sentence.
Like just now.
Well, now I'm explaining it, though. That's why I had to do it there.
But like you did it the last time, too.
Well, I had to explain it then, too.
And the time before that.
Yes. Nice merch, right? Yeah. We're not giving away these shirts because that means they won't buy, Sam.
I'll give them away.
Are you giving them away right now?
To the dumpster, yes.
Oh, wow. That's going to fucking...
You have a live read.
I just pass them around the office then?
Yeah. By the way, Arctic Zero, they gave me the envelope.
All right, with the Arctic.
Dry ice, a big box, and lots of fucking flavors to try.
This is not the live read.
Well, I'm just reminding Steven Singer, it's been a while since I got an envelope, and he better fucking send one soon or we're going to have problems, Sam Roberts.
Just read that thing.
All right. Anyway, the new color for 2015 for Steven Singer's famous Gold Dip Rose is butterscotch. And I don't want a Gold Dip Rose this year. I got enough of those. And I like them, but I don't want any more, Steven. Butterscotch is the color this year. That's right. Give her a rose that symbolizes how sweet and delicious she really is. Can you imagine the perfect gift for Valentine's Day starting at just $59? This real long stem rose is lavishly dipped in 24-karat pure gold, guaranteed to last forever. So why talk about Valentine's Day now? Steven Singer sells out of this gift every year, especially the new color. And he wants to make sure you get the first shot at ordering his brand new color, butterscotch. It's beautiful, limited quantities available. Order yours today to guarantee you'll have the newest rose color for your sweetheart in time for Valentine's Day. Steven makes it so easy. Each rose comes shipped in a beautiful gold gift box with your personalized gift message. Just go online to IHateStevenSinger.com. Go there now. He loves web traffic. He checks his numbers. He knows how to check numbers. IHateStevenSinger.com. Go there now and reserve yours today. Jim Florentine killing it for us today. Yes, Kenny. We're very busy. We got a lot of show to do before Jamie Hector comes in here. So please, I beg you, make it short.
I just want to apologize for ruining the show by plugging your coffee mug. It wasn't my intention to ruin the show. I just love your coffee mugs.
Well, one of my guys texted me and said, "Wow, that mention really helped sales. It helped a lot."
Well, people do love coffee.
You fucked up the radio show, but you put a little money in my pocket.
Well,
Thank you.
You know what else we love? Earplugs.
I apologize.
Well, Kenny, you mentioned my podcast T-shirts, and I text my guy, and he said, there's no business.
Your people aren't up yet.
You're right.
Yeah, your people sleep in a little bit.
By the replay, believe me.
Yeah, you're going to be happy with the text message you get. Like, holy fuck, I moved merch.
Yeah, and people can buy Jim Norton's merchandise at JimNorton.com.
They won't.
They already know that, though.
Yep.
All right, carry on.
All right. Thank you, Kenny. The Bill Cosby thing, and then the Jeffrey Tambor thing, and then Jamie Hector. What do we do? What do you want to do first?
I say we do Cosby. It's a bigger story.
Yeah, let's do the Cosby thing. So Cosby got heckled up there, still in Canada with these shows, or did he move back down to the States?
No, this is London, Ontario.
They're not really having him in the States, I don't think, right?
He's been canceling most of his state shows, yeah.
But Canada is accepting this? Well, they didn't really accept it at this one show because you had people stand up and heckle him and call him a rapist.
You know, it's all with the promoter. If he doesn't want to lose the money, giving it back is, maybe there's a deposit.
Yeah, a lot of the articles were saying that Cosby's legal team was pushing that if you don't honor these dates, that they're going to sue for the full amount.
And they keep the security deposit. Maybe there was a non-refundable security deposit. So it's all up to the promoter.
He's a pompous ass. I kind of got that feeling when we had to sit down and talk to him just to get a picture. But you're thinking, holy fuck, I get to talk to this legend. But he was taking his time, and it was a long line, and everyone had to sit down and like kind of, I don't know, almost kiss his ass. And then he's like, okay, I'll finally take the picture with you. And people had to wait for a really long time that day. Not me, Jim Norton, and Bill Burr, though.
That's right. We started right up to the front of the line.
We marched right to the front of the line with the excuse that we have to get back on the air very soon. Well, but you made a very good point earlier. Like, why wouldn't he just take a year off and see what happens? He's being a bit pompous with this whole thing.
Yeah. Well, you heard that whole Letterman story. When he'd go there, they'd say round up a bunch of like cute interns and watch them eat soup or something like that. Someone came out and said the story. And he would just sit there. Yeah,
he would make them watch him eat soup.
Just sit there and watch him eat soup or whatever he had when he was at Letterman every time.
What do you think? That he was basically saying, "Look, this is how I'm going to eat your pussy."
I don't know.
If you're into
I'm
it,
not sure.
Look at my technique.
But that's a whole control thing too. Like, just watch
this
me.
Soup. Wow, he's weird, man. I think he's weird. I guess you could say that much.
You say he's weird? Sure.
He's a weird fuck.
Soup is good, though.
It's all right. It's overrated.
Soup is good food.
I need my soup thick.
Yeah.
I need a lot of, I need some fucking meat and potatoes in there.
Like a stew.
Like that chicken soup where there's barely anything in it. Go fuck yourself.
I had some nice chicken noodle this weekend. The noodles were all thick. There was so much chock full of chicken.
Oh, shit.
People could probably put soup in your coffee mug.
Oh, right. I secretly like this. Pocket money's coming in now. Thank you, Kenny. No, soup is, you got to have some substance to your soup.
Yeah.
A good Manhattan clam chowder. You go Manhattan, right? You don't go New England.
No, I prefer New England, but only because the viscous nature of the milk in Manhattan, of New England, which I prefer taste-wise, but you know me, and I don't want to be cutting gassers and going, so I would prefer the reflux assault I get after a Manhattan. I don't fuck with clam chowder for that reason, ever.
I love Manhattan clam chowder. It's my number one soup, I think. If we're talking soups here, we are, right? Officially, we're talking soups.
Well,
I don't do cream soups.
Yeah,
no cream in my soup.
Chicken noodle, vegetable soup. I like miso soup.
How about a delightful gazpacho? Nice fucking watermelon gazpacho hits the spot, nice and cold. Am I right or wrong, guys?
What about that shitty soup where the cheese is over the top of it and it's all crusted on your... Get the fuck out of here with that French onion with that soggy bread in the middle. Stinks.
Awesome.
And too many onions.
How about a nice carrot ginger gazpacho?
Sam, is there any good soups at your chain restaurants that you like?
There are no good soups.
No good soups?
No, anywhere.
What's your number one soup if you had to?
No soups.
You got ISIS behind you, then you have to say what your favorite soup is. What is it?
Please don't name one.
That's it. I don't
that means you'd be dead.
I don't eat any soups. Ever.
No soups?
Nope.
Sam is soupless in Seattle.
That's cute.
Eric, mark this down for best of, please. Thank you. The soup discussion fucking kicked ass today.
Soup chatter.
All right, let's get the Cosby clip on, finally. So this is what happened up there in Canada.
No, stop. Stop it. That's right. Shh. No clapping, nothing. That's all right. Okay, we just have patience. Okay. So now, so she brings me in, and I stop at the doorway. My wife goes to this corner. The daughter is here. They want you to know they can't stand you. So, my wife looked at me and she said, in the daughter's room, have you ever seen such filth in all your life? And I said, no, I haven't, Your Honor. So my wife said, go into your bathroom and pick up your scale. bring your bathroom scale here, set it down, please, with both hands face up. So she goes in, picks it up.
Oh my God.
Why would they show the rest of that?
That was it?
Why did that clip have the rest of
we
the...
had to listen to a Cosby bit.
Jesus, I wanted to yell rapist just to get the fucking bit going again.
I thought more was going to happen after that heckler.
That might have been the last heckle. That might have been the end of it.
But,
what a droning, awful bit.
That was boring.
That's awkward, though. That's really awkward. You can feel that weird... it's almost like we're watching Bill Cosby, but oh my God.
And when he keeps bringing his wife up, it's like, come on, dude.
Yes.
You might want to keep those wife jokes out with all the shit going on. I know.
It's a lawsuit thing, though. You might be right. They might be going to sue him for the money, so maybe he has to honor the dates that wouldn't let him cancel. There might have been dates that said you're not, or some of the venues might have wanted to cancel. Oh. But there might have just been people that went, you can't cancel because there's too much money spent. We need this. So maybe he had to, or he got sued for a fucking couple $1 million.
But he's got it.
Yeah, but you don't want to lose a couple $1 million, dude. Not with all this other shit.
You have $100 million and you know this shit's going down. Maybe you just suck it up and go, all right, whatever it takes, fucking pay these promoters. I got to sit out for a year.
And maybe you want to try it on stage. Maybe you want to see what it feels like and what will happen. Like not here, but like in Canada somewhere where it's not your biggest. You know, I don't know. I don't understand the thinking there, but.
Well, maybe he knows there's no more money coming in.
But he doesn't need it.
I know,
but
he
doesn't.
In his
70s, and he's probably. I would imagine he's got at least $100 million.
Oh, I think he's probably got more than that.
Way more than that.
Oh my, Fat Albert, the Cosby Show, yeah.
So it's not a money issue.
No way.
Yeah, obviously, no one wants to lose money, but considering the circumstances, you take that fucking hit, you go away for a year, and see if maybe this whole thing figures itself out.
Well, you do the interview. There's rumors that Oprah's trying to talk to him and Camille. You do an interview first. You do like a major interview and attempt to clear your name and give your side of it. This way you can go on stage and people can go, because I heard that there was like a half full room. If you give a compelling interview and you're believable, people might go, okay, this guy's getting railroaded or fucked. But you have to do that first.
But he hasn't even said anything.
No. And he's been really awful with it
because he knows.
And he's been vocal his whole life, so it's like you got to fucking say something, buddy.
His lawyers are probably telling him, "Look, you do one interview, they're going to pick that apart if we go to court over one of these, which we will."
Right.
So you just keep your mouth shut. It's better to just keep your mouth shut because he already supposedly hired some PI out in California, this real pit bull who's going after every woman's background. That shit's just find out all the crazy shit that all the illegal and
but he's got to do that
any dirt on them so they can bring that into court.
He's got to do that with over 20 women.
Yeah, I know.
20.
That's how you know he's got
20
money.
Something.
That's how you know he's got a lot of money, man.
How different do you think this would be if Bill Cosby was white? That thing.
You know, people ask, do you think if he was white and all of the victims were black, or all but like a couple, there were some black victims from Cosby, but let's say all of them he was a white comedian and almost 80% of the victims were black, the racial angle might get brought up, but
there would be more outrage probably.
Maybe. But Cosby's such an iconic, it's a hard one to say that with. With Cosby, I think it's more shock than anything else. People still can't believe this is fucking happen. Who's a white guy that's as iconic or loved?
That he was able to keep this secret life as he was America's dad. You saw all the articles. America's dad, Bill Cosby. He knows right from wrong. Morally, he's someone you should look up to and listen to. And behind the scenes, if half of this shit's true, wow, he wasn't that guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
He wasn't close to that guy.
I don't know if it'd be different if he was white. It's a good question. With the racial difference, but again, Cosby coming up all these years, there's a point when you're that famous where you're just around a lot of white women. I mean, that's just the circles you're running in. It's like people give Clarence Thomas shit. Well, he married a white woman. But it's like, yeah, but in college and where he was, that was probably 80% or 90% of the women were that.
Who was he supposed to marry?
Well, that's exactly it. Yeah. Sidney Poitier married, I believe, a white woman.
And people got mad who he chose to marry?
Well, you can marry anybody, but it's one of those things where I think that like when you're in certain areas in a certain time in history, that's just who's around you.
Right.
And you wind up falling in love.
Right. I hear you. So that's the latest on Cosby. What are they saying about that clip, Sam? Anything that we haven't covered?
No.
Pretty much?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I like Mediaite. I go there a lot for clips. They got to learn how to edit. We didn't need the rest of the fucking bit.
Yeah, they just plopped it up there.
They just plopped it up quickly because they knew they had something, I guess.
What an awkward fucking vibe that is, though, man. Wow.
I know, to go right back into the bit after. All right, everybody calm down, calm down.
You gotta respect his mastery stage presence, though. You have to respect his ability as far as just a pure performer to be able to go back. But I think he's just getting through it. Getting through it to get the money.
And that was the same sweatshirt he had on when we got the picture with him.
Loves a good sweatshirt.
That's all he wears now, is that particular sweatshirt? I'm sure he has like 10 of those same exact sweatshirts, or hoodie. He likes these big over-the-top hoodies now. You want to do the Jeffrey Tambor thing?
Absolutely.
All right, so Jeffrey Tambor, he won a Golden Globe last night, and the show won a Golden Globe. The other dude did well from The Affair.
Dominic West well in general.
What did he
Dominic
win?
West from
he won Best Actor Drama.
Oh, I thought he. I thought.
Wait, he won Best Actor?
I didn't think he
TV
did.
show.
Oh, I didn't realize
I
that.
tapped out of the Golden Globes. I know the show did well, but he actually won?
He won, and then the woman
Fucking
won.
A, that's awesome.
That's right. They love. I tell you, the business loves Showtime shows.
Right.
Oh wait, no. Maybe he didn't win.
I didn't think he did, but I mean,
no, I'm confused. The show won.
The show won.
and the girl did.
And then what's his name from Kevin Spacey won Best Actor.
Right, and the girl from the show won.
The show, the girl from the show won, and the show won.
But he didn't win.
But Dominic did not win.
So I have to take back my fucking A then.
Well, the show won, though, and he was on stage for that. That's why I got confused.
Dominic West was in here. He was so cool.
Awesome.
He was awesome, and that didn't make me watch his show. I'm an idiot. And then it turns out the show's really good.
I know. I was in that day, too, and it show
You were in that
sounded
day?
good. Yeah.
I've seen a few of them. They're very good.
I should have watched it, too. It sounds great. He said a lot of nudity, too.
He said a lot of nudity. We love The Wire. He was great on our show, and we still didn't watch his show. What's wrong with us?
Well, Jamie,
what were you waiting for?
Jamie sent out a tweet that said, "Congratulations on your win." And I'm looking at it in the bathroom. I'm like, but he didn't. I don't think he won Best Actor, but I guess it was for the best
show. So that's great. That means they'll make more. I'm sure they were
Kevin
going to.
Spacey won for Best.
Yeah. No, we said that.
He had some weird speech.
What did he say?
I don't know.
I just wanted to announce that I'm. What did he?
I just want to be better or something. That horse shit. He knows he's great. That's why I don't like that shit. Those guys don't believe that when they start groveling. I just want to continue to get better at this.
Yeah, but maybe the reason they're great is because they want to keep getting better.
Nah, he's lying. Man. I understand.
I'm talking about you, Jim.
He's lying, though. You know that, Sam.
I mean, I guess, but he is getting better. Like, every role he does is better than the last one.
I think you got to be more aware, Sam.
I'm pretty aware. But
what he said was a nice thing to say, but I completely don't believe he would say that. I mean, believe what he's saying. He knew it would be a good thing to say at the Golden Globes.
Yeah, definitely. But he probably also is competitive with himself about being good.
He knows he's great. He hires people to tell him how great he is when they're doing things.
It's better to sound humble in a speech.
When they're doing things to his penis.
He's never won an Academy Award, Spacey, did he?
Yes, for American Beauty, I think.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
He was great in that. So he's trying to be better than how he was in American Beauty.
That movie really annoyed me, but...
What part again?
You didn't like it?
Just of course, the man's man is gay and doesn't know it. And it's just his fucking awful fantasies about the girl. They were such pussy fucking written fantasies.
Yeah.
Like he was fantasizing about this young girl, about just like, what were the flowers? Like, oh, shut roses.
Yeah, bro.
Fuck off.
What? It was a nice scene.
Fantasized about roses.
It was a nice scene with the roses.
But no one thinks about
the rose
that.
petals.
You don't see a fucking 19-year-old or 18-year-old girl and think about, I'd love to put flowers on her.
What do you think?
What would you think?
I'd love to eat her ass while her head's in an oven.
You never laid down the rose petals, make it all nice for the lady?
No, I actually take the petals off and lay down the stems so they step on them and they're going to take a shit in the middle of the night.
Fair enough. All right, so anyway, Jeffrey Tambor won.
Have you done the rose petal thing?
Not really.
Maybe around the top
maybe
or something
once.
like that?
Maybe once around a bed once, sure.
Yeah, but if you got a girlfriend, if you're in a romantic mood, that's different than fantasizing and jerking off with a girl you don't know.
And then it just like sticks to your body. That's just fucking.
So you lined them all up. You went out and lined them all up.
Pulling them all around the bed. I didn't make the trail to the bedroom though. That's hack.
No, it was poison ivy. She's got fucking itchy feet.
Then you got rose petals kind of just stuck to your bare skin.
And it worked though. She was all excited about it.
Yeah, the women, they're fucking simple.
You put them on the bed too.
You can do some simple things with them. You could show them shiny shit, and they'll do about it.
What were you thinking when you were putting them out of bed? Like, oh, man,
I was thinking this is like romantic. This is a Valentine's Day. Let's do something a little different.
Do you like candles, too?
No.
No?
No.
You sing romantic songs? Sometimes when we touch.
Honest.
I just tried the pedals thing. I didn't go back to the pedals thing, though. That's a one-and-done thing.
Right.
You don't do douchey shit like that, Florentine?
No. Hey, you get some flowers. Yeah.
Flowers are nice. I just would lay them on the floor.
My greatest Valentine's Day experience ever was the time I decided to go for the traditional heart necklace. What's wrong with that?
It's terrible.
Did you get a box of chocolate, too?
Well, that Valentine's Day, I spent the day drinking my face off with Anthony Cumia and my friend Jay from Framingham.
Did Anthony appreciate the necklace you gave him?
Because he had a shitty Valentine's Day that year as well.
Why was yours shitty if you gave her the necklace?
Well, I wasn't making a lot of money. I was up there in Boston at that WAF. And I decided to go heart necklace, traditional. Like I gathered up what money I had and got a heart-shaped necklace. And I handed over the heart-shaped necklace for Valentine's Day, and the person started crying. So I'm like, fuck yeah, I hit a fucking home run with this. And then through her tears, she said, it's ugly.
Oh.
Look at your face.
Nice.
Did she really?
And at that point, the Opester threw down whatever he had in his hands and marched out of the fucking house and called his pal Anthony Cumia. And we found a little joint on Route 9 outside Framingham on the way to, I think, I got to remember my towns now, maybe on the way to Ashland, I guess. Somewhere between Framingham and Ashland, there was a little roadside bar.
That's right, Ugly Hearts Tavern.
And Anthony met me there on Valentine's Day, and we sat at the bar and we drank, and we had one of the best Valentine's days ever.
Why'd she say it was ugly? Was it shaped like a human heart?
Fucking psycho.
Did you get it back?
I learned years later.
She kept it.
Honestly, Florentine, so many years ago, I don't know.
Okay.
It was hers at that point. I didn't take it back and say, fuck, I'm taking it back to the store. I know that much. So I don't know how that one worked out. I would assume she fucking went back to the store and got, I don't know, a refund or something. I really don't know. That's a very good question. I was so out of my mind.
How come you gave her an ugly one?
How can a heart be ugly? It's like it's a heart.
Huh?
It wasn't shaped like a star.
Maybe it was green.
That happened.
It had something wrong with it, like an eye in it.
That happened to me twice, because then one Christmas I got her a Coach bag.
You sure she didn't say your?
If she's saying you're ugly back in 1996, then she fucking should have got her eyes checked, okay?
So you were like a 9?
I was fucking hot. I would have fucked me. I mean, you can't say that, the Opser from 99 was ugly.
Can't
no
say that about the
fucking
Opser
way,
in
man.
2015. Absolutely.
Now I'm not going to question it as much, but 99, you're not saying I was ugly.
No.
All right?
Heck no.
And I did the same thing with the Coach bag on a Christmas.
What happened with that?
I piled up all the presents, and I put the Coach bag as the last gift, like here's the big Christmas gift.
She always juggled the Coach bag.
And
in the game.
She started crying. She started crying through that one as well, and pretty much said more or less the same thing. It's ugly.
Maybe you have bad taste.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, you're not great at picking that girlfriend, and then you were also bad at picking gifts for her.
Yeah, you're bad picking hearts and bad. Maybe you're not good at picking out women's stuff. You just got to take them and say, "What do you want?" Maybe you went the route of.
They don't like that though, because then they pick it out. They feel like you didn't put any effort into it.
All right.
Well, then my wife's either a great actress or I found a good one.
You found a good one.
I found a good one. This other one was like, I don't know what the fuck was wrong with her. How do you not like a Coach bag? When Coach bags were in.
Yeah, Coach was like top of the line.
You probably bought it outside. That's why it was probably a bootleg. It was spelled COWCH.
Yeah.
And she, I think, See, this is going back so many years, too, but I believe she hinted that she wanted a Coach bag. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what happened. Then I go to the mall, and I'm not stupid where I go, all right, I'll just take that one. You find the chick in the store that looks like she knows what the fuck she's talking about, and you have her pick out a couple, and you're like, oh, no, this is really popular, and the women seem to really like this one over here. I wouldn't touch that one over there because that's a little too over the top and fancy. That's more like the Europeans are kind of buying that one. I remember that, having that conversation.
Got you to buy the one that nobody was buying.
Yeah, that they had a lot of stock.
That's right. The ones that they want to get rid of.
They saw a sucker come in.
Yeah, I saw you.
Yeah, they actually all got together and said, "All right, they fought over who gets to wait on you."
That was just.
We have a stock room full of that ugly one over there.
Exactly. We're going to get rid of the green one with the yellow circles on it.
There was a Valentine's Day where I had this girlfriend. I was totally in love with her. And like 2 weeks before, her boyfriend breaks up with her. So now I think I have a shot.
Right before Valentine's Day?
Yeah, it was 2 weeks before Valentine's Day. So she's heartbroken. So I'm sitting with her. I'm over a house. She's crying on my shoulder. So I said, hey, let's go out for Valentine's Day. Why not? She goes, okay, fine. I make a reservation at Fridays, Sam.
Ew,
nice.
Fridays?
Yeah, Fridays.
Wait, how old were you, though?
23, 24.
Right. I was a Red Lobster guy at 23.
Well, she worked at the Red Lobster, so I couldn't take her there. She did, so I had to take her to Fridays down the street.
What a garbage night this is.
23, though. That's
you should have told her, I brought you here because I didn't want you to stress about work. In here, it's always Friday.
You're right. I don't know if they had that slogan then.
Oh.
Could have got some of that fucking spinach avocado dip, whatever it is. That's good. Told her it reminded you of her clit. I don't know. Go ahead.
I wasn't at that point yet, though. So I buy the roses. Now, roses back then were, you had to go to a florist. They were like $60.
Right.
For Valentine's Day, probably $80. So I buy a 12 rose. I get it in the white box.
Did you go red?
Yeah, I go red.
Whoa.
Skinny white box. I pick her up. We pull in front of the Fridays. Very romantic. Yeah. Valentine's Day. I got 2 cards. Not even 1. 2 cards.
Why?
Because one was just like, hey, a friendship card, happy Valentine's Day. And the other one, I wrote all this mushy shit in.
Oh, my God.
Because I thought I was closing the deal on Valentine's Day.
2 weeks after she broke up with her boyfriend?
Yeah, that's how fucking, because I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm a fucking retard. So I think I'm in.
Well, you only started jerking off 2 years prior. So
exactly, yeah.
Listen to the replay, people.
So you thought you'd go from friendship card to, like, I love you card within one night?
Pretty much. I was going to give it a friendship one first. I had that one on top, and then I was going to give her the next one that I wrote all this mushy shit in besides the mushy shit that was originally in the car.
Oh, okay.
So I got but I got the roses in the back seat behind her on the floor in the white box. Because when we pull up, I want to give it to her right before we get in the restaurant for a romantic dinner and Fridays on Valentine's Day. So we pull up, and she's like, all right, let's go. And I go, hold on a second. And I reach into the back, and I get the box, and I bring it to the front, and I hit her in the corner of the eye with the fucking white box. I swear to God. I swear. She's like, fucking in tears. Because I hit the fucking, because those white boxes, those had those sharp corners.
They were pointy.
Yeah, hit her right in the corner of the eye. She's fucking crying, hold her eye in my seat. You're going to have to take me to the hospital. What the fuck did you do? What was that? Why did you hit me? I go, no, I was going to give you your present. After like 5 minutes, she calms down. She's like, what is it? What is it? She's still holding her eye. I go, here. And I open them up. She's like, what is this?
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, it's roses for Valentine's Day. She's like, why did you get these for me? She goes, what do you think's going on in our relationship? I told you we're friends. I go, it's just a nice gesture. I just wanted to do it for a nice gesture. That's it. I had to cover up. Meanwhile, I had the 2 cards right on the floor.
So you kicked one of the cards under the seat.
Kicked them both under the seat. Now we get in the restaurant, and you know what she's doing?
You still went to the restaurant?
We were in front of the place. I had to pull it off. Like, no, we're just friends. Don't worry about it.
Did you have a reservation at Fridays?
Yes. You had to. It was Valentine's Day. I had to make it.
But you should have said, look, we're just friends. That's why I picked Fridays. Like, if I really was thinking anything here, I would have fucking went to the big restaurant down the street.
But you thought Fridays was like a good spot.
Of course,
though.
absolutely. That was fucking top notch.
Yeah,
top notch.
So we get inside. I'm just trying to play it off the whole time at the dinner table. She's running back to the bathroom, right? And she keeps going back like every 5 minutes. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I finally go back there. She's on the payphone by the bathroom talking to the ex. the whole time calling him back and forth. And then at the end of the night, she's like, you know what, let's get, she wanted to eat dinner real quick. And she's like, I got a friend coming over. So you just drop me home? Because we're going to go to one of my friend's parties or something like that. So the guy was coming over after I just bought her fucking $80 roses. I had the 2 cards.
And you fed her Fridays.
I fed her.
You almost blinded her.
I almost blinded, and she's on the phone with him the whole time. Because when I walk by, I'm like, everything okay? She goes, yeah, everything's fine. She had 2 kids at the time, so I thought she was calling the kids. It wasn't. Because I heard the conversation coming out, and she's like, I miss you too. I know, it was my fault.
Did you lie to yourself going, it's probably she just misses her kids?
No, I knew.
How good did it feel on the way home knowing that you almost blinded her at that point?
It didn't feel good.
Not that part. That part would feel good on the end.
I just felt bad for myself. I'm like, what a fucking idiot I am.
And you weren't wrong. You had 2 skinny white boxes in the car. You hit one with the other one.
But you only discovered masturbating 2 years prior, so you got to give yourself a little break there. You were still figuring out your game.
You just felt like a sucker, though, right?
Wow, that's a bad move.
Yeah, brutal. But what happened was, like, 4 months later, she calls me up, like, one night at, like, 3 in the morning. I pick up. She's like, look, I'm really fucked up. She goes, I'm horny. Come over and fuck me.
Get out.
Swear to God. I'm like, we made out like one time in a year we were friends.
Wow.
I'm like, you see? She goes, come on over. I fucking got my car to like 80 miles an hour over there and fucking banged the shit out of her. And I wound up dating her for like 2 years.
So it worked out in the end.
Yeah, but it was
a
painful.
tough start.
It was a.
Did you ever go back to Fridays with her? Or you move on to like the Olive Garden or something?
No, but one time
she classed it up, right?
I was such an idiot. One time she broke up with me. I was heartbroken. So she used to hang out at this place right behind the Red Lobster. The whole staff would go there afterwards to drink. So like 3 days after she breaks up,
she worked there for 2 years.
She worked there for a long time. She was a waitress, yeah.
What garbage
with 2 kids?
Yeah. She breaks up with me. So 3 days later, I bring this fucking hot stripper in. This fucking beautiful blonde just to fuck with her. Like, hey, well, I'm hanging out here now.
Right.
So, and the girl's all over me. I told the girl, can you just be all over me? I'm trying to get back. My girl, and of course, the stripper's like, of course, whatever you want me to do. She's like, give me lap dances. She never came in that night, but all of her friends did. And the next day she calls me, you fucking piece of shit. You come in my place where I hang out. I go, and I was like, that was my sister. Because I was fucking trying to backtrack on it. Right. My sister was a blonde. She's like, bullshit. I go, I swear to God. And then we wound up dating for a couple more months.
Wait, but the stripper was giving you lap dances in this bar?
Yeah, right in the bar.
That they would hang out at?
Yeah. I'm like, come on,
and
I'll
you were
get
still
back
trying
at you.
to say it was your sister?
Yeah, the next day I felt bad. I'm like, I still love her. Maybe I could say it was my sister.
I love that you're trying to get her mad, but you're like so in love with her that the minute she calls you on it, you're like, no.
Yeah, no, it was my sister.
Like your plan's working, and you just backtracked on the whole thing.
Totally.
That's great. For real, that's great. All right. Where were we?
Jeffrey Tambor.
Timbre or Tim?
Timbre.
It is timbre?
It's not timbre, it's timbre.
I've been pronouncing that one wrong as well. Great. Another word to work on. Jeffrey Tambor.
Where is he a Tambor?
Jeffrey Tambor.
I don't know how Jeffrey says it, honestly.
I think it's Tambor.
You might be right.
I've always heard
I get a lot of words wrong, but I think I got this one right.
You might.
Yeah, I've always heard.
I'm not married to it. I might be right.
Anyway, so he came in and, I don't know. I guess it's worth replaying.
So wait, he came in about a year ago and he was great, and then the last time he came in a few months ago the interview was weird.
He was a little tentative and a little uptight.
I think he knew that this was a very important topic that he was tackling. If you want the real answer,
yeah.
So he was like, he wanted to make sure he did it properly. He was feeling a lot of pressure. A lot of trannies or people in that community were counting on him. Here's a powerful character on what is it? Amazon.
Yes,
Amazon. So a lot of people are going to be watching this show, but we didn't know any of this shit. The time he came in before that, he just goofed off on everything.
But it also, I think he came in and he was tentative because he knew that you guys hadn't seen the show. Yeah. And he had wanted everybody to see the show.
Yeah, but you know what?
It happens.
Fucking get on with it. Right. Everyone I fucking interview with doesn't see my special. We just have a conversation. Plug your dumb show. We'll talk about it. Don't take yourself so fucking seriously.
I actually like him, too.
I love him. He's great, but it's like,
I would love to have him back. We'll see. I don't know if that'll ever happen now that he's a big winner, but we'll wait and see on this. So we got a couple clips from the interview?
Yes.
Want to start with the first one?
Yeah.
Okay. So Jeffrey Tambor was in promoting Transparent. He won the Golden Globe for that last night, and this is us talking to him about it.
Do you look good as a woman?
You know, I'm going to take issue with that. I'm going to tell you why. People don't say to me, when I played Hank Kingsley, did you look good? Or did you look good as Oscar? It's about what happens in a family when somebody makes a drastic change. And anybody who's ever been to Passover or been to Thanksgiving, and what happens when somebody makes a change, and a drastic change. And it's a faithful and loving thing. It's not sensational, and it's done in a realistic way. It is the finest role I've had in my life.
Wow. So that really was a bad question.
It was a shitty question, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's a common question. I mean,
it's common, but
the
it's
intentions
so
are good. He's not,
No,
he's
I'm
a
not
sweet guy.
No, he's not a sweet guy.
He is a sweet guy.
If he was sweet, he wouldn't be making the gestures he's making to me right
No, I know that.
See, then he's trying to have a little fun with it, obviously, but you can tell that he's taking this very seriously.
But it's almost like, who cares if they asked you that? You weren't dressed like the opposite gender, dumbbell.
I mean, I'm not in that world, but if someone said, hey, we want you to play a woman for this fucking TV show or whatever, I'd want to look good.
You do.
You look great, dude.
Fuck yeah.
And I would assume actors... Is that a bad question?
No, it's not.
I think it's also because he's in this spot where he's got to do this show and not make it look like he's objectifying or exploiting trans people. And, you don't even, nowadays, if a trans person comes in, it's not an appropriate question to ask if they've had the surgery.
Look.
No, that's a very personal question.
Yeah.
Living in Manhattan, you see a bunch of people that are going through the transition. Okay, I'll just keep it very vague. And you see them walking around. And what I don't understand is they don't look good as women. And I wonder is it bad to say that? A lot of times
because a
lot of times they dress like they're from the 50s. They don't know how to pick out proper clothes. There's one that walks around in my neighborhood that has a silly little fez hat on top. Are they fez hats? I just know fez.
Yeah, the fez with the thing with the
yes.
He or is she now? Is she? I don't even understand. What
he becomes a transgender woman.
I think this person still has the penis, but wears a silly, and I mean silly, tiny little fez hat on top of her head.
Well, I mean, it depends.
So my question was do you look good? Meaning maybe more believable.
Are you making fun of them for being trans, or are you making fun of them for wearing a stupid hat?
It looks ridiculous, but because they're transgender, you're not allowed to say someone looks ridiculous.
I think you could still make fun of their hat. You could be like, that is a stupid hat.
Has a tiny little,
then you realize it's a wig and you feel bad.
Has a tiny little exotic bird feather, hanging out off it. It's ridiculous.
I think you're still allowed to hate the hat and not be...
I don't hate the person.
You hate the hat.
I want to make that perfectly clear. I don't hate the person, but
that's what he says in the police station after an assault. I was assaulting the hat.
But you would think if you're going to go through all this, you would maybe try to find. They don't even have to be sexy clothes. Just more clothes that I don't know are more acceptable.
Yeah.
Well, it's not transphobic to hate a hat.
No.
All right. Let's continue. So then we continue with Jeffrey Tambor. No, I want to explain because I don't want you to think I actually asked a shitty question. If I was going to...
You asked a question that I get all the time.
Thank you. But besides that...
And that's to the purpose. I love your question because that's what I get. And that's the area that's around it.
But who asked a good question? Let's be honest. Who asked a good question about what you learned about...
Nikki Glazer.
Oh, you have a question?
No, she's transgender. She understands everything.
She's been nodding the whole time. She gets it.
She's used to that.
I get it.
I know you do. Well, so why don't you speak?
I remember when...
if you get it.
See, I mean,
he's still breaking balls, being aggressive, and that's
I respect that Opie would not let it go. Like he went back to it and said no.
Because I wasn't going for a shocking moment, or I really meant that. Like if you're going to be, you're going to play a woman, do you want to hopefully look good?
Yeah, well, you should have brought up the hat. Maybe that would have clarified things.
A silly little hat. It's so tiny. It's so ridiculous looking.
Because you're not shrinking the head size. If you have a big head, you can't wear little hats.
I swear this hat I'm talking about.
You got to get a picture of it next time you see it.
I'll be honest. And every time I talk about this person, my Twitter from people that are local, they go, "We know exactly who you're talking about." I have raised my video camera a few times. This person will beat the shit out of me.
How much?
You could just tell. You could just tell. I'm like, I'm not taking this fucking. It's not worth it.
You can't walk behind and
walks with an attitude like, yeah, what? I don't give. I know somebody around here wants to say something. I fucking dare you. That's the attitude this person has when they're walking around the neighborhood.
That's dope,
yeah,
man. That's dope.
And the fucking Fez hat is maybe as big as Jimmy's coffee cup. It's ridiculous.
That's so small.
Huh?
That's tiny.
That's what I'm saying. It's so tiny.
But she's like, I dare you to say something about my stupid hat. I'll fuck you up.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Maybe I could. I don't want a sneak video, though. That's not brave either. Most of the time, I've been able to get a fucking video by going right up to the person. I'm not going to sneak it.
But it'd be even better if you showed up to work tomortle with a
black eye,
of the Fez and a black eye.
Yeah, 2 missing teeth and a photo of a blurry Fez hat, a big cock hanging out.
What? You know. I'm not allowed to say the hat looks ridiculous. But Jeffrey Tambor continues.
I was just talking to somebody this morning and just said, it's really, he got it. He said, it's really about the spirit, isn't it? I said, that's it. It's about the soul.
So basically asking you...
Hold on. You're going to go funny, and I don't want you to go funny.
No, I would never go funny, believe me. It has not happened much in my career.
I understand. I listened to this show.
Point to me. I won't go funny, obviously.
All right, go.
Go dirty.
So do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Go dirty.
So,
my turn?
Listen, here's the deal.
My turn?
No, shut up.
Amazon?
Shut up. I'm a guest.
That's right, you are. Let Jeffrey talk.
I am a guest.
I was
And
yelling
then
at you.
I'll call on you.
Wow.
See, he's joking, but you don't say to somebody, you're going to go funny. What do you...
Yeah,
What, are you the only one allowed to do that in the room? Sorry.
Even though it's a tough topic, you can still go funny.
Yeah.
We have nothing but love and respect for the transgender people in our almost
Personal lives. Yes.
Almost lives. Almost lives.
I think he was fairly overprotective of the subject matter when he came in here.
That's true. He didn't know who he was sitting next to. All right, what's next?
And then
I'm the TF kid.
This is a woman who's found herself and is following her dream. So at least she's a role model, and I'm very proud of her. I'm very. Yeah, go ahead.
How far did you go with the role? Did you wear undergarments and stuff?
See, there you go again. That's your second question.
That's a good question.
He just said it.
He just said that was one of the questions.
I'm sorry.
I'm not going there. You know.
Okay, I apologize.
No, but
I do apologize.
No, you don't.
Because I know
apologize, but you have a shitty ass grin on your face.
I don't. There's actors that they go far with their roles. That's bad. Okay,
Get off there.
All right, I'll shut up.
Get on the other side. Why do you let that happen?
He's yelling at Nikki now.
It's not my show.
Wow. When he said shitty, he was getting really mad.
He probably also knew, listening back, that you were completely taking the piss out of him with that question.
So? I was having fun. I was trying to have fun. I know he didn't want to answer that question. I was just having fun.
It was funny.
Don't you think it's okay for people to have a problem with it as long as they're not doing anything with that problem they have? Meaning violence and all that?
Are you asking me personally?
Yeah, because there's a lot of people out there that certainly they can't wrap their head around that, and they have a problem with it because maybe they just aren't educated enough yet.
Okay, guess what? I have a problem with being yelled kike when I was a kid, okay?
I wouldn't say that.
Okay, I know that. But that's from an ignorant point. You understand? So the other is always dangerous. The other, and we have to move on.
But I'm not saying they're yelling at transgender people.
How do you? You're not. But they are.
No.
But they are.
No, that's not what he's saying.
That's not my point. I know that happens. I'm just saying, what about the average person that just isn't educated enough and can't really wrap their heads around this? And
I'm going to answer your question.
That's why I said
I'm going to answer your question.
They're not yelling at you. I'm going to answer your question. Violence.
As soon as you stop.
Okay.
The question is, go online and educate yourself.
Or have an assistant get you a bunch of stuff. He's being very self-righteous in this because he's afraid that he's going to say the wrong thing. And what do you think, that transsexuals have no sense of humor?
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. What, you got to handle them with kid gloves?
Yeah.
And there are people that don't get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't think it's right to force or make people get this stuff. As long as those same people aren't, being violent or doing anything shitty.
Right.
But there's a lot of people that really still don't understand that whole world yet. And maybe a show like Transparent will help that. It's fine. That's okay. But we're just trying to discuss it openly. And then finally, one more clip.
How can I understand more about this problem? And you go right to it, and you'll find some good information.
Or just talk to transgender people like we've done.
We have.
Or have me on the show more.
Well, I'd rather talk to Bailey J than you because she's transsexual. She understands it better.
I'll bet you I don't get invited back.
Well, she will. And Jeffrey, you can come back tomorrow.
I'm looking into the engineer, and he's going, yes.
You're crazy, Jeffrey.
Oh.
Exactly. The fact that you think our engineer is actually where he belongs.
We really like you. Jimmy has a personal friend,
Yeah,
Bailey J.
it doesn't matter if he knows that. But it's like, it is a difficult conversation.
Yeah. And we've learned a lot through that relationship as well.
Bailey's great.
September 26th.
Watch it.
People are saying you're making assumptions about me and Jimmy.
He is, but it's okay.
Calling him a peg and what was...
Oh, I'm getting the bet?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm getting hit?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
Exactly.
Well, how do we rectify? Am I getting hit, really?
Well, because you called me a pig because I've said I've slept with a lot of people in that community, which is a sign.
I didn't say that you were a pig.
Well, you're not wrong.
This conversation. I said you were a pig as I know you.
As a human being. All right, fair enough. I'll accept
Didn't say that.
All right, Jeffrey.
I loved listening back to that. Yeah. I have no problem with the guy.
No.
I would love to have him back.
Absolutely.
And I'm happy that he won Golden Globe last night.
Yeah.
Still not. I don't really have an interest in watching the show.
It's good, dude. What I've seen of it, it's awesome.
I just don't have an interest in it. That's all. Maybe maybe I'll take a peek. I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm sure he's going to come to New York to celebrate the Golden Globe win. Remember in this interview he said you'll never have me back. So now let's get the word out through Roland. We want Jeffrey Tambor to come in and we want to congratulate him on his Golden Globe and let's see what happens. He is too big now and this show's too big that I bet you he says no to our invitation.
I will have the show watched by then too. I'll watch all the episodes. I have to take.
I don't have a problem with the guy.
And then he might have a new season coming up where he needs to promote.
They'll do another one.
You never know.
Yeah, I'd have him back.
When that's coming.
He's a ball buster, man. He's fun.
Yeah.
But that day, he just took himself very seriously in this project, very seriously. He knew that he had a lot of pressure on him, I guess, on himself. What are we promoting into break here?
Jim's got day. I got Tempe Super Bowl weekend, and then February 13th in Connecticut.
At
Foxwoods.
February 6th, I'm doing a Comedy Underground with Dave Attell at Valley Forge Casino in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania.
Awesome.
And then this weekend, Laughing Skull in Atlanta and Fort Myers, Florida the following weekend. JimFlorentine.com.
And then this weekend's good? Did you say that?
Yeah, Atlanta. Laughing Skull.
Did you just say that?
Yeah, this Thursday through Sunday.
Sam was handing me some. I just want to make sure we got the word out. We got to sell that fucking place out for you. Jesus.
It will.
All right. I hope so. You get a chance to see Florentine in the Atlanta area. I might need a few.
Yeah, no problem.
I got some friends down there.
I got this band, Blackberry Smoke, I'm friends with. These guys are great.
Yeah.
They're coming down. They're in the area.
What kind of music? Metal?
Southern rock.
Really?
Cross between Skinnerd, Black Crows, with a little Stones, tinge of country.
If we don't go deep, could you pick a song that we can end the show with today?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll end the show with Jim Florentine's friends there. All right? But first this. Got Jim Florentine in studio.
Yeah, I know.
Jim Norton in studio.
Yes.
Jamie Hector on his way, probably in a few minutes.
Yeah. Sam Roberts, don't forget.
Being stupid. Roland's been wearing an Ohio State hoodie. Roland came in with an Ohio State hoodie.
Wish it was a Kent State shirt.
You care about the national title? That's tonight,
really.
Right?
We were talking about Tyson Walter. He went to Ohio State or whatever.
Oh, right, of course. No, he went to...
Allegedly.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So he's going to the game tonight in Dallas.
I was about to say something really stupid, and I think most people heard part of the stupidity.
What?
Ohio State it's in Columbus, Ohio. Right?
I don't know where it is. I don't know exactly what part of it. It's Ohio, but I don't know where.
I think it's in... whatever.
How's that stupid? I don't know exactly where it is.
I don't know, because I was thinking that maybe there was another team that played in Columbus, but no, of course he played for Ohio State. So he's rooting for Ohio State.
Yeah, and his friends are all going to the game tonight.
Oh, wow.
Allegedly, I have to say.
Do you know college football as much as you know the NFL?
No, I don't follow
do.
it. It's too much too time consuming.
too many teams to follow.
Yeah, because you give up Sundays watching football, then you got to give up Saturdays. I don't have the time for that.
Right.
Rutgers is going to win the big.
You think so?
Games.
What is
the big games? There's only one game left.
Rutgers.
And who?
Rutgers.
Oh, you said Rutgers.
Rutgers?
No, Rutgers. Rutgers.
For our friends in New York City, watch your back. The NYPD is now being forced to give out a lot of tickets to make up for slowing down their jobs for a while there.
No vacation time until quotas are met or tickets are written or something. Boy, this de Blasio is this might be coming from Bratton, but de Blasio is just a piece of shit.
But I was reading in the paper today that they're actually going to set up roadblocks because they want to give out a lot of tickets now to make up some of the revenue that was lost when they were slowing down their jobs a little bit. And I don't blame them for slowing down their jobs.
No, not at all. 90% down tickets were. 90% down.
The city was losing a shitload of money.
Sure, it's a revenue stream.
But a lot of that money they shouldn't have anyway, because a lot of the times they're just fucking you just because they know it's revenue for the city.
Yep.
So that's starting immediately. I think they're going for the DUIs and all. They're gonna have all sorts of roadblocks all over the fucking place.
On your phone, in the car, texting, all that shit too. Yep. There's money in that.
That drives me nuts because and I swear to you, I love the NYPD in general. No, I love the NYPD. Of like any other profession, there's some bad eggs, but not as many as the protesters would like you to think.
You mean Jews?
There's a few Jews, but every time you pass an NYPD officer in a car, he's on his phone too. We're all on our phone. So how dare you stop your car to give me a ticket for doing exactly what you're doing when you're not giving the tickets?
I've said that angrily into their windows. If I see a cop texting, I'll go to his window and I'll rap on the window and I'll go, "What are you doing in there?" And I'll poke angrily.
You pull up to a red light. You're about to take a peek at your phone. You got 30 seconds. You can get a lot done on your phone. You turn to your left and you see it's an NYPD officer. He's on his phone doing the exact same thing.
That's right.
We can't help ourselves. We have to be on our phones all the time.
I'll hold up a picture of my cock on my phone and show them. That's what you get, buddy. They appreciate that.
So I think that's a joke ticket, especially when you're rolling up to a light. If you're on a highway, on the highway,
or even moving. If you're moving,
I guess you're right.
I made a responsible decision. Sorry, I'm responsible. I was coming home last night, texting with a young lady.
And driving?
Well, no, because Kenny goes, "Don't text and drive," and he was right. So I texted and drove while we were going slow, while I was But once I started getting close, I'm like, "How about I give you a ring?" I said jingle, and I said, "How about I give you a jingle and we chat?" So it was nice to have I've been making myself talk more on the phone, so I don't kill myself texting.
Oh,
Sweetie, what?
Well, I don't want to blow. Hold on.
Yeah, write it down. So will I such your what? Oh.
I was a witness to this.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. So,
thank you for asking that.
Well, I don't know. There's been times over the years I've blown up your spot by accident.
I understand.
So we're driving home. It was about a week ago. And me, Jimmy, and Kenny drive home a lot of days. Me and Jimmy live very close to each other, as most people know. And all of a sudden, I hear from the back seat, he's talking his sexting. And then he goes, "Oh, no, yeah."
I was saying it to you.
What?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. At first, I'm like, all right, he's going for a joke. That's hilarious.
Right.
Because it was not that it was hacked, but it was just so weird. And then I turn around. He goes, "Oh, I'm just talking to this girl."
Now you do it like this. You just do it.
But he doesn't actually. He talks into.
He was talking into it.
Into Siri or whatever.
Press Siri like this. I love the video of you sucking that cock. Send mom.
That's what he does. But that's what makes it so weird, because he wants to make sure Siri picks up every word perfectly. He does like that. I want to see you.
I'll tell you what Siri can't get is cum. They always spell C-O-M-E. So you have to always go back in and change it. And there's a couple of words that Siri is not good for sexting. It's gotten better, though.
Yeah.
It's gotten better. A little bit more intuitive.
But don't you think if you have your friends in the front seat, you would just type it in?
That's right. Well, I get car sick. I get car sick and I have business to take care of.
That's what I was sort of thinking.
I've been in a lot of cars with you over a lot of years.
Right, and I made you sick.
I don't remember the exact.
We've never pulled over and you've thrown up.
No, never. I mean, I get nauseous, though. You know that, Jim.
I don't remember the exact text, but he was talking about eating pussy. I'm just like, Jesus, I just want to go home.
And that's at 11 in the morning.
Yeah, it was like, right at 11.
That's pretty impressive.
I forgot exactly what he said. But like,
I want to eat your cunt in a big red chair. Here's what it says. I want to eat your continent, big red chair. That's close. I guess I can understand why Siri wouldn't understand cunt in a...
So we got the NYPD being forced to, make up for lost time as far as the ticket giving goes. That sucks. That's a tough situation for the cops, I think.
Yeah.
Don't like this de Blasio.
No.
Not a big fan of politicians in general, but this one I really don't like.
His shitty face. Oh, his face is awful.
Just a shitty face, right?
Yeah. Speaking of Sam, and
he didn't shovel his neighbor's walkway again.
Walkway.
That says a lot about a person. You're the mayor. You got all those cameras on you. You would think, you know what? All New Yorkers should help out their fellow New Yorker, and he should have stepped to the right a little bit and shoveled his side of the sidewalk. No,
it's a selfish guy.
I think he's a selfish guy
and a bad neighbor and a bad mayor.
Yes. Where's this Jamie Hector?
I don't know. Roland's out there pumping up Ohio State, and Jamie Hector's not here yet.
All right. You know why Roland does this. I've explained this to you over the years, right? He likes high fives in the subway, so whatever's hot in sports.
Oh, is that what he does? Okay.
Not just sports. In any pop culture, he'll go and get that T-shirt or he'll get the jersey. Like, he doesn't even follow basketball. He was in a full Brooklyn Nets warm-up suit last week.
He said one of the great things about Ohio is the corn.
Right. But he's been wearing the hoodie for days now?
Yeah, he was wearing the same hoodie on Friday for
getting ready for the big game.
Yeah. He doesn't know not one person who goes to Ohio State or went to Ohio
State. Does he even watch football?
No.
No, he'll follow whatever team is giving him the most free tickets.
Right.
In the NFL. College football, he does not follow at all.
No. Here comes Jamie Hector. He'll be in about 15, 20 seconds. It's okay. We're good. One of his people is running down the hall. We've talked to her before. She's cool.
She works here.
Yeah.
She's here. She's a.
I know. I just don't know her name.
Betsy.
Betsy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because she's run the stuff when I come up here to do press.
Oh, it's Betsy?
Yeah. She's cool, man. She knows.
It's Betsy?
Yeah, she'll get me on a whole run of like 9 people, like 9 different studios.
No, it's not.
Betsy, we're cool. We're cool, Betsy. It's not her name?
No, it is.
How are you?
Jamie, how are you, buddy?
How about yourself?
Good to see you.
How's it going, man?
What's going on?
Good to see you also. How's everything, brother?
You're looking sharp.
Oh, man.
Looking good, bro.
Thank you.
It's too early in the morning to look good.
You know what? I wake up like this.
You have a whole team with you now.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you know someone's doing better, like when they come back, there's more and more people with them.
Right. Even more. You should have seen the rest of them outside, too.
Oh, you have more people?
Yeah. We're deep.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I got the production on Monday, so the talent is with me also.
Oh, okay.
Kenyo and 2 actors and a vocalist.
Oh, from Moving Mountains.
From Moving Mountains.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I've never been invited to do a performance there. I'm quite a good vocalist.
Oh, man, whenever you want to come.
Okay.
You're invited now.
I'm busy Monday.
I got you.
I'll be on a train from Boston.
No, Opie wanted to say hello or thanks to Betsy. I guess the publicist was bringing you around.
Betsy, no, that's Soji's right over. Well, hold on a second.
No, Betsy's the Sirius XM talent booker.
Yeah.
Right. Well, who was that came in?
With the blonde?
Yeah.
Betsy.
That's Betsy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Huh?
It's Tracy.
Tracy.
It's Tracy. What are you saying Betsy for? It's confusing
we kept
me.
calling her Betsy.
Yeah, I thought that was Tracy.
There's a whole thing we were trying to do before you got in here, Jamie. It didn't work well.
Yeah, we just, it's just one of those things.
Don't work really well.
We gave it a shot.
Yeah, because you were yelling Betsy.
Oh, I knew her name wasn't Betsy the whole time. I was just fucking around.
All right.
I wanted to make her uncomfortable.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It didn't work.
Damn.
It didn't work. All right.
Did you watch the Golden Globe? I saw your tweet for Dominic West. You must have been happy for him.
My man, yeah, I was very happy for him. He's so humble and very talented.
We had him in here, and what a nice guy.
He is.
We're so happy for him.
Stand-up dude, and we're born on the same month, so,
Yeah.
I got even a higher respect for him.
All those guys are working. All of you guys are doing things from that shit. There's nobody from The Wire not doing anything, is there?
Well, you guys put us on the map. You know, the fan base, the people that love the show. And then, you know, the industry was forced to watch it.
Wait, I thought you meant you guys meaning me and Jimmy.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
me and Jimmy are the reason why The Wire was so huge, right?
The love. Yes.
Yes. You hear that, Florentine?
Yeah, I hear it.
We helped with one small angry segment of the population. They were like, well, we never heard of The Wire. There was just a bunch of our fans. But that was a pretty legendary show already.
He's never seen The Wire.
No. Well, we're going to fix that. You give me your email address so we can make sure you get that HD
He won't watch it.
DVD.
He's a racist.
Yeah.
He just refuses to watch it.
Oh, no.
No, I do want to watch it. I want to start from season 1 and just watch it all.
Oh, he absolutely said he wants to watch it. But I'm just amazed that there's still people out there that haven't seen The Wire because I'm telling you, it's one of the best shows ever.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about binge watching now in Amazon Prime, which my new show is on, actually. But that's a beautiful thing about it where you can get a chance to watch the entire season.
Yep.
Binge watch.
I can't wait for things anymore. I can't.
No, you can't wait a
The show is called Bosch, right? BOSCH?
Yes.
And are they all coming out at once?
At once, yeah.
That's the way to do it. That's the smart way to do it.
It's a smart way to do it. It's like watching a good movie. You know, from beginning to end, you get down, you sit down. No one can tell you when to cut it off. You don't have to wait till next week to watch it. Just binge watch the first episode, which is the pilot.
I was lucky with The Wire because I got in late, so I had 2 or 3 seasons to watch as I was waiting for new episodes from you guys, or a new season even. I'm like, I'm good because I'm still a season and a half behind
it's
here.
Still fresh,
right?
That's
Remember
right.
The Sopranos? You'd be into that show, and then all of a sudden, like, yeah, we're going to take 18 months off, and they would have a cliffhanger. You're like, well, I have to wait 18 months now.
I'm telling you, that's cable watching, right?
It's unheard of now to make anyone do that.
I'm telling you, the new way to watch TV because the competition and the bar is set so high in regards to how you can watch.
Right.
I watch most of my work on a flight.
Yeah.
You know, and just or online or on home or on this big iPhone 6 Plus.
Yeah, I got the 6 Plus. Too. I wanted something in my pants that was 6 Plus, so I got the iPhone.
Wait till you watch The Wire, by the way, Florentine. He is one of the scariest guys in the whole fucking show. Yes.
I don't know why they say that. Look,
Look how smiley he is now.
Listen, I own real estate. That's all I do is I own blocks, a couple of blocks under my control, right?
Yes.
Streams of income, measures of control. That's me, and it's really simple. But now, you know, these guys say I don't smile. These guys say
no, you smile in real life.
Yeah.
Like I remember the first time you came in here, I was so intimidated. His character. Wait till you see.
Wow, I have a lot to smile about.
Yeah, you're a delightful man in real life.
You're very.
Yeah.
You're wonderful. I would never want to meet your character from The Wire. That's for sure.
You know what? I'll be real. I watched it. I was catching most of it. They aired it the other day, over the season, the holiday season.
Yes.
And I was like, I wouldn't want to meet that dude either, man. He looks like he's a problem. I really didn't like him. You know?
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't because, you know, he's like Bodie said, he's like, you can't do that. There's no rules to the game.
I read recently that you wrote a backstory for him that went like 2 notebooks full of stuff.
Totally.
What kind of a backstory did you give him? And I've heard actors do that, but I've never been in any type of role deep enough to do that. It's hard to write a backstory for one line.
You know?
All right, Jim, you yell help.
That was the difficult part. That was the difficult part.
I pitched them my backstory. They weren't interested.
You know, the intro, the first episode of the show, of The Wire, right? It was do it or don't. I got some place to be. So, I mean, what can you do with that except for try your best to, you know, understand that this guy's very economic. Right? He wastes no words. He probably wastes no food. He wastes no time. So then you start creating and building from that truth. And then you continue as you move along. So I was able to develop this guy's history. Something to think about. Right. When you're working on the role. Which, you know, he's probably a guy that was raised by older guys. That's the reason why he seems so mature. And it was just an extensive story and his life story.
Oh, was that your first line as Marlowe? Do it or don't? Yeah. There was about to be a murder.
Yeah.
You really handled it very casually. Do it or don't. Yeah. I guess a backstory helps when you're going into scene after scene. I've never understood that part of actors.
Yeah, you want to track it. To me, I mean, I have to track it. I have to track where it's coming from, where it came from, and where, not really where it's going, but potentially where it might end up.
Okay. Who's your, what's the new show?
The new show is Bosch. It's on Amazon Prime. I play the character of Jerry Edgar, total opposite in the game. Once I was one committing the murders, now I'm chasing the murderers. You know?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm a homicide detective in LAPD, alongside with Titus Welliver. And Titus Welliver, he's the lead, and we're partners. And it's crime novels written by Michael Connelly.
Okay.
And for those that are fans of Michael Connelly, and he's an extraordinary writer, just transitioned now into a how do you call it now? What is it? It's Amazon Prime. You know, you would say a screenplay, which is for smart TV. You can watch it online. You can watch it on telephones. You can watch it wherever you want.
How many episodes?
10 episodes.
10.
The pilot is on Amazon Prime now.
And they're going to put up to 10.
Put up to 10.
Just like that.
Just like
half-hour show or an hour show?
Hour show.
Wow.
Hour drama.
So 10 hours.
Yeah, it's tough. And it's basically, the slogan goes like this: everybody matters and nobody matters. And that's real simple. So, you know, Harry Bosch is just an individual that he's dedicated wholeheartedly to solving a case, whether it's last year or 20 years. He won't sleep till he gets it done. And I just happen to be the partner that's by his side that has to deal with working on Christmas Day because this dude wants to go and pull a case. And, you know, as an officer of the law, you want a vacation, you want to take time with your family on Christmas or New Year's, and you don't want a partner that's going to pull you into the seam of things, but that's how dedicated he is.
So did you create a backstory for this guy, too? I imagine it was a little different than Marlo.
Oh, without a doubt. Well, you know what? Is he that different, right? I mean, focused individuals. Marlo was focused. He's focused. But this character, Jerry Edgar, he's a father. He's an ex-husband. He has problems. He has issues. And he's a man of detail when it comes down to his clothing. I mean, he spices it up with the clothes. I mean, he goes deep. So, you know, and he's a homicide detective, which, you know, you have to have great informants. And his backstory was deep also. But for me, the easy part about it and the great part about it was my opportunity to shadow so many homicide detectives.
Oh, you just go out on runs with them?
Yeah.
That's how a non-cop says it. Did you get to go out on runs with them? Do I know nothing about the police department?
Oh, man. I mean, the jargon is different, you know? I mean, instead of saying it's the 71st precinct, you say the 7-1. You know, right. It's different from L.A. to New York. The way they dress in L.A. is sharp. I mean, it's like they dress in to step into GQ.
Did you go on real calls?
I did. Well, the real call that I went on with a LAPD detective. His name is Tim. And he took us all the way out to Watts. Nothing happened, right? We almost delved into Compton. Nothing happened, right? It was cool. Just took us to the area, showed us where things hit the fan and everything. Took us back up to Hollywood. That's where it hit the fan.
No kidding.
Really? Yeah. On Hollywood, over there, right there under, you know, bright lights, big cities, right? And then the other one, I was working on a film called Blood Ties, and a friend of mine, his name is Ty, and we went on a run, man, put me in a bulletproof vest, ran up in the dude's house looking for guns, this dude that was selling guns, and that was a run. You know,
do you have to sign a waiver before you do that? Like, if I get shot, I won't sue the LAPD.
The waiver was verbal because I was like, "Y'all really gonna take me up ahead?" and
you had no problem doing that.
But they, you know what? They I think they were confident in enough to know that nothing was gonna happen.
How close to the front were you, though? Were you in the back a little bit?
I was in there.
They pushed him through like Serpico.
First guy in. Like Serpico pushing through.
Yeah. All right, you want to check this out? All right, here we go. Right.
It'd be great to have a civilian to throw in front of you, running through a door.
You went right through the front door with him, though.
Right through the front door.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah. It wasn't a kick down session. It was surveillance going on, so everybody knew. Yeah, but you know, anything could happen.
You never know.
But it was fun.
What happened in Hollywood? When you said the shit went down, I need to know.
It was
probably because of my OCD, but
it was really simple. It was domestic, right?
Yeah.
And this dude, he was in the street, and he smacked up his wife. But then he just turned around and walked away like it was sweet. So, you know, he blended in with the crowd as if no one was going to catch him. But the entire neighborhood decided to start pointing him out and saying it was him. And we were driving, and Tim just happened to see it. He got the call. We were around the corner, and he just pulled over and nabbed the dude. And I want to say I jumped out and clobbered him also, but I stayed in the back seat, though.
Did he resist arrest when?
He tried to run.
He did?
Yeah, but he had nowhere to go, though. You know, he was going to pull the blend-in kind of move, you know?
Yeah, Kaiser Soze.
Yeah, but it didn't work because everybody was like, don't let him see that I'm pointing him out, but
there he is.
It was him, you know? And when they did that, you know, everybody just turned up on him, and then, you know, the LAPD, they form.
Did the cops give him a couple extra shots?
They came in on him.
A couple extra ones?
No, they didn't. They shook him up real quick, you know? He thought he was going to get away, but then he turned around and saw the pressure was on. Yeah.
When they brought him down, they don't put him in the back seat with you, did they?
No, another car came.
Oh, okay. You didn't get to interact with him?
No, I didn't get to interact with him. No.
Yeah, because cop cars are so weird. The back seats are just so plastic and hard. I guess because, you know, criminals are always vomiting back. You know, it's like a very easy cleanup area.
Right. No, that's crazy that you would even say that. On Bosch, I have a scene. Because, you know, again, I spend so much money on my suits and my shoes. We have a perp in the back seat, and he's about to throw up. and we pull over, and this guy Earl's all over me.
All over your nice clothes?
All over in my car, and the whole 9 yards. So you can imagine what, God bless taxi cab drivers and police officers.
Have to clean the vomit out of especially someone who's a criminal, to have to clean their puke. That's just extra irritating.
So that wasn't part of the show, though? The guy was just getting sick?
In the back, yeah, that was part of the show.
It was part.
Oh, you thought he was just getting sick?
Well, yeah, because I mean, it's not your clothes, so who cares? That's why.
No. But you get married to it. I lose myself when I get into character. Okay. I become the character so much I forget that I'm Jamie Hector.
That's why I think it's a good question, because I'm thinking, who gives a fuck if you're playing a role and they're puking on? He's supposed to puke, and he's puking on the clothes they gave you.
I know, but when you put
it still bothered you.
It still bothered me.
Wow. Okay.
You're a very well dressed guy, though. You have any kind of like an OCD with your neatness and things in order? You seem like a very organized guy.
I am organized, not OCD though. I can get a little, crazy with it, but I do like things in order with my notes and my clothes and everything. But no OCD.
No, you have no numbers things.
No numbers things. I could adapt very well to whatever environment it is.
Okay, because numbers things is a surefire sign. Whenever I see somebody neatly dressed, I assume they're OCD, and that's probably stupid of me to assume.
Fashion. I kind of dig fashion a little bit, not too crazy with it, but with J. Edgar, I had to really get into it. I mean, I was over there scouting, just going to Bloomies and everything, and trying to figure out the quality and the texture of different suits and ties and shirts and shoes. I learned about double buck, monk, vamp shoe. I mean, I was learning so much about clothes, I ended up liking it even more.
So, wait, you just got to go pick out a great wardrobe of stuff?
No, I went on my own time to go and feel the fabric. Because, people that know clothes. They know suits, they know stitch, they know shoes, they know, hats, the great jacket, the great shirt, the handmade Italian shoes, etc. So, in doing that, I went to just figure it out myself so that when I was on the set, it wasn't foreign to me.
Wow, I've never had that. I'm always like, could you bring your own clothes? I'm like, okay. I'm still doing those. Yeah, bring your own shit.
But I remember those days, though. Yeah, bring your own clothes, and I would come with a wardrobe full of clothes. I mean, the whole suitcase. You know, is this all right? Yeah.
Did you get to keep the clothes?
Nah. Yeah, maybe next season.
That would have been funny. Like, no, I really feel like the character really needs that suit because it's something you like personally.
I'm telling you, I got my dibs in next season though. What I do have are
should be in your contract. Whatever clothes you pick out for me, I'm taking home with me.
Just walk at the end of the day on the set. Just walk away with the suit on. I've done that on sets before and keep the clothes.
Yeah. Did they call you back?
Yeah, and I just I think it's somewhere. I'm not sure. I think I put it in a trailer.
I know that's right. Yeah, my thing is, I'm afraid they're probably like, look, you walked away with the clothes. We no more work for him.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, I was only getting paid a day rate of $700. So
there it goes.
If I was on big salary, I probably wouldn't do it either.
How long were you with the LAPD? Watching them for this role?
Maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, and it's always open to me whenever I want to go back. So the coroner's office, that's one thing that I was like, we had to do a scene with that, and it was up in the air for me whether I was going to go and, take the stench in, the smell of the dead bodies and visualize the dead bodies, because they opened that to me.
Wow.
Whether I wanted to go and see it, And for me, I allowed it to affect me in a different way, just,
Did your opinion of cops in general change or any of that, or you see that their jobs are tougher or easier, or?
I see that their jobs are tough, and I see that their job is really to serve the community.
Right.
Because, they take on a job in which they have to go in every day and night, hit the streets, and keep in the back of their minds whether they're going to come back home to their families.
Right.
I had to go and do a simulator. So they put the screen up, and it was like, okay.
Is that when you're shooting?
That's when you're shooting, right? But it wasn't a real gun. It was a screen.
Right.
And you had to sit over there and at all times determine whether you would shoot this person or not. And the number one thing that I learned is I need to always see your hands at all times. And if you don't see the person's hands, you need to let them know your hands now, because a beautiful lady pulled up in a car. I walked up to her, and this is in the simulator, and I said, "Hey, how are you?" She said, "Hey, officer, how are you?" I was like, "Hey, can I see your license and registration, please?" And she said, "Sure, it's in my glove compartment." She reaches for her glove compartment with her left hand. She had a pistol tucked under her right leg, and as she popped the glove compartment, fired a shot.
Wow.
And it was like that, because I was so in awe of the beauty.
Right.
I was like, hey, what's going on, baby? That she had her hands, and they weren't free.
Yeah, I always pull over. I'm paranoid. I'll keep both hands on the wheel, and I turn the interior lights on. And it's a motorcycle, so it's just really...
I know what you mean. Yeah, me too. You know, I mean, hands up. You know, I'm not playing in the game. So when you get a chance to play an officer, you know, one of the most important, an informant. Right. Very important to an officer of the law, because you know the better the informant, the better the work, the better the officer.
A lot of focus on cops these days. That's why I was asking.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, I really do believe they have it tough.
They have it tough.
Not an easy job whatsoever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I do have to admit, there's some bad apples, of course.
Oh, without a doubt.
But there's bad apples in the acting profession as well, and radio and every other. But I in general think they get it right most of the time.
Yeah, you know, they it's a tough job. Bad apples in all areas, but in this one in particular, the bad apples would have to get weeded out.
Right. Did you have to deal with cops growing up that you were like, what the fuck, man? Why are you harassing me?
In life?
Just in life.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I was in college, coming home, and, you know, a detective said, and you know, once your education shoots through the roof, I'm reading the Constitution, I'm understanding the laws and everything, and he said, hey, come here. And I was like, you know what, my man? I got my ID right here. This is my ID, so I didn't do anything, I'm good. He said, what? And then he gets out and, you know, commits to just like throw him against the wall and go through the process of, when I tell you to come in, you come in. I was like, yeah, I know my rights. Right. You know, I don't have to. But that was the era before cell phones and cameras.
Right.
Where I could have hit record on the low.
Right.
So, but then again, you know, I had great cops that did great things for me.
Right.
Amazing, you know, and there for me when I need them.
Yeah, and it's like, what's the solution? Because there's a lot of really tough neighborhoods, like, you know, that where the cops have a really confrontational relationship with the residents, and then the cops will tell you, yeah, we drive in and they throw things out of the windows at us. They throw toasters at us, and then the residents go, yeah, like I get pulled over for no reason. It's like everybody, there's no side is saying like, well, this is what we do wrong. It's always the other guy. It's really, I don't know how they figure that out.
I think it's a balance of respect. Working on Bosch, that's one thing that I've come to understand, especially with Tim and the rest of the guys on LAPD, Mitzi. They said number one thing is respect. Respect, and that's the conversation. I respect you, you respect me. If you didn't commit a crime, I have to respect you. If you did commit a crime and I don't know it yet, I still have to respect you until it's proven different, you know? So I think respect is the number one key. No matter whether it's the mafia, whether it's on the block, whatever the case may be, I think respect plays a huge part.
Yeah, nobody wants to feel like they're being treated like an ass.
Of course.
I mean, I've had that in my life. I've just joked my way out of it as opposed to fighting. People have disrespected me. I'm like, good point. You know, we just laugh about it.
You know Kwame Patterson?
My man.
He's on the line, calling from Hollywood. Kwame.
He played Monk on The Wire.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Kwame.
Yo, what up?
Sorry to make you wait. We got Jamie Hector in studio. What's going on, buddy?
Chilling, man. I just wanted to call up and say what's up to my brother, man. You know, let him know I'm proud of him and everything he's been accomplishing and doing, you know?
What's up, Top Dog? Ray Donovan, if you haven't seen him on that, doing great.
Who are you in Ray Donovan?
I play a character named Recon.
Oh, were you the rapper?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. Look at Jimmy's eyes.
Yeah.
I think he likes it, Kwame.
Yes.
His eyes just popped out of his head.
Yeah, that's Wendell Pierce is on that show now.
He is, yeah.
He just got a part in Ray Donovan.
Yeah, he just got finished doing Samba, too. Hey, but you know what? I want to say something about what y'all were just talking about.
Sure.
I think one of the things we're missing is they don't have no more, is we don't have beat cops anymore. You know what I'm saying? You don't have cops that walk around the neighborhoods and actually connect with everybody. So I think that's where the problem is, the disconnect. Where back in the day there was beat cops. You know what I'm saying? So people have respect for the law and vice versa. It's like now there's no beat cops.
So why?
No one's around.
Why did that stop? You think? Guys just walk in the neighborhoods.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't even tell you, but
that's a great point.
I think that's what neighborhoods are missing. I really do. I think if you had cops walking around the neighborhoods and really, because I mean, back in the day, growing up, you know what I'm saying? Like, we knew cops' names. They knew our names, and it wasn't on no, like, oh, we trying to beat you down type stuff. It was just like, hey, what's up? How y'all doing? What y'all doing today? Come walk up on you, chilling on the block, and they say, what's up? keep it moving. You know, it was love. You know, I mean, of course, if he was doing something wrong, then you got in trouble. But if you were just chilling on the block, just actually chilling, you had B cops there because they knew people in the neighborhood and they knew what you were doing. They knew if you was a knucklehead. They knew if you wasn't. They didn't just assume because you dressed a certain way or you carried yourself a certain way that you was. Whatever. I think that's the disconnect.
Do you think part of it with the beat cops, at least, is that, like, especially when something like crack hit, drugs were always a problem, but when crack hit, it became so violent. Like, it just, that kind of just changed a lot of the way things were done, and it seemed like a lot of everything just kind of got faster and faster, and then you had certain, like, the Jamaican drug posses who were just like a firestorm of violence blowing through, and it's almost like a much scarier thing for a cop to walk the beat now than it was, say, 25 or 30 years ago.
Probably true.
That changed the game. I mean, generations upon generations destroyed because of the crack epidemic, and yeah, I mean, it changed the game for grandmothers walking down the street, as well as cops, But I guess to understand history and understand the signs of the time, and I guess know when to change it. Also, at that time, you probably couldn't walk the beat. That's like right before Serpico. That was
70s, yeah.
That was the 70s, yeah. Going right into it, that was like heroin.
Right, yeah, heroin.
Mm-hmm. So you couldn't walk the beat, but now is a time that you probably can walk the beat, and it's probably a time to actually implement that again, that strategy again. It might work, There
was also a time, too, where the idea of killing a cop, like if you remember in The Godfather, there was a scene where they were going to kill McCluskey. It was no criminals wanted to do it, but then it just seems like, then Ed Byrne is assassinated, and like occasionally killing a cop wasn't as big a deal. Criminals just weren't the criminals were braver, I guess, were more brazen, or however you want to say it. And I think that became less of a taboo. Like, you weren't going to be totally isolated from the other crime family, if you killed a cop.
There was a time in the 70s that was happening a lot in New York.
Were they killing them a lot in New York in the 70s?
Oh, boy, were they, yeah.
Maybe that's what changed it.
Yeah, we had an issue in New York for a while. I believe that was like the late 70s. So, Kwame, calling from Hollywood.
Calm down.
Yeah, man.
Do you guys...
what you say?
I was just going to say, do you guys get together from, The Wire and just, like, kind of reminisce? Well, even though you're all onto other projects and you all have your own careers that are doing extremely well, do you ever just go back and go, oh, man, we got to get together and get some laughs in?
Kwame and I, we get together every time I go to L.A.
Yeah,
that's a must. We break bread, and we talk about what's going on in the future. We talk about the work that we're working on, the projects that we're working on, because, like you said, for the most part, everybody that was on that show, it's been an absolute blessing. We all, moved on to different projects. And if not, then up for different projects. Kwame's been up for so many projects. It's like when the actor is not working, or, like, for instance, if I'm not working, I mean, last year, I think, I shot so many pilots. They just didn't get picked up.
Wow.
Same thing for Kwame. He's working and shooting so many pilots, and he's on so many different projects. Some might get picked up, some might not. And then you just keep moving on. I think George Clooney shot so many pilots before his first official break, or when he was on a hiatus. I went to go see him speak at a panel, and that was the case with him. Pilot after pilot after pilot doesn't hit the screen. The audience don't see it, and they think that you're cooling out, but you remember because you get paid for those pilots.
Hard to imagine Clooney didn't get any of his pilots picked up back in the day.
That makes me happy. Remember he was in the Golden Girls.
Sure.
Yeah. I think that was one of his first parts, was in the Golden Girls.
Well, I'm telling you.
You think he likes being reminded of that?
He was on Cheers.
He did it all.
I love Cheers.
He pops up on a lot of those shows like, oh my God, it's Clooney.
That's Clooney.
Before anyone really knew who he was yet.
Yeah, it's funny to see, like, some of the biggest stars in the world pop up in weird little places, and you realize they're much bigger. That day on the set, Ted Danson was bigger, Rhea Perlman was bigger, Shelley Long, whoever else was there. And, like, this guy went on to be so much bigger.
Norm was bigger than Clooney that day.
Yeah, I forget his real name.
I know.
It's like Tinseltown. How is it done? Right? That's like the magic wand. You don't know how it's done, but he did it. Tom Hanks is a perfect example of that also.
On Bosom Buddy. Oh, yeah, he was in Taxi. He had a very funny episode of Taxi when they were going back over their lives, and Jim Ignatowski was being in Harvard before he was a drug addict, and Tom Hanks was the fucked up stone guy in that scene. He was very funny. Or a young Emma Stone, when I did my scene with Emma Stone in Lucky Louie. We had a couple of scenes, a scene together. We bonded nicely.
Did she comment that what a good actor you are?
To other people, I'm sure. she didn't say that to me.
Emma Stone was on Lucky Louie. I didn't know that until today.
Oh, yeah, she was.
Remember she was the girl that...
The wild daughter of Louis' friends. Fuck you, Mom! Like, she was really funny, screaming at her parents. Yeah, she was really great.
At the time, I guess. I don't know if I ever remembered you telling me that.
Yeah.
All right. That's awesome.
Yeah, I remember thinking she was really cute, and they're like, that she's too young. I'm like, okay.
Kwame, anything else, brother?
Whatever happened to her?
Nah, man. I just wanted to jump on here real quick. Louis had told me that my man was on here, so I wanted to say what's up. So I want to say what's up to everybody. I'm actually in class right now. I stepped out in the hallway, so I'm about to go back in this class.
What kind of class you taking?
Taking this real estate class. Actually,
good for you.
Exactly, man.
Streams
we got
of income,
build
messes of
outside of
control.
action too. You know what I'm saying? So so I actually take this test on Thursday.
Good for you. That's smart.
Yeah, you got to have something else. You know what I'm saying? So other things that get into investing and
Kwame. I'm a little hurt because I when I saw you on the line, I'm like, here's Kwame calling from Hollywood. He listens to me and Jimmy every day.
No, Louis told him.
Someone had to tell you to call this show that you don't know about because your pal's on it.
No, we understand.
I know, but you want to think it's differently.
I know about it, so now I'm gonna be listening.
All right,
he's busy studying.
You're busy studying for real estate. Next time you're in New York, come on by and say hi, Kwame.
Definitely, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate y'all having me on.
Okay, yeah, and very good in Ray Donovan. I remember him well. Very good.
Thank you.
Okay,
I
buddy.
appreciate it.
All right.
Calm down.
All right, man. Y'all stay blessed. All right, Jay.
All right.
There you go.
Cool. It's really funny. Jerry Edgar, the character I play in Bosch, that's his moonlighting job. A real estate agent.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like I said, 2 mortgages. He's paying for his and his wife, and she's not going, soft on him. She's making him pay. So he has to take care of her, has to take care of his. And, being a detective, a homicide detective, it's, the money's not long enough at all times. So put your life on the line, and it's not long enough all the way. So he has to go and sell homes.
When do you find...
No, I was just asking if you're smart with your money. Do you invest money? A lot of guys make a lot of money and don't save it.
Who, me?
Yeah. Just as are you paranoid about losing it, or
that's probably that? If I was OCD, it would probably be in that order, in that place in terms of. I understand. Everybody else is designed to take it.
So you don't spend like MC Hammer?
Nah.
MC Hammer was in here telling his story.
Jesus.
Wow. He just assumed that money was going to last forever.
Yeah, I think everybody does. But,
he was paying something like 100 people on a regular basis. It was crazy how much money he was giving people.
His accountant should have held that up to
no kidding. Said, let's relax a little bit.
Yeah.
Guys are stupid though because they sign money. Like I would never let my accountant sign a check. They have never ever. But a lot of guys are very trusting, and they're like, okay, you'll pay my bills, and then the accountant is doing what they want to do and making shit investments.
We got to wrap up, unfortunately. When do you find out if you get a second season?
Well, we air in. I hope I'm not saying this incorrectly, but in February, and we find out then if the
numbers are good, they're going to go, let's do a second season. So we got to get people to watch Bosch on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And there's a Moving Mountains theater organization tribute to Martin Luther King Jr. It's January 19th, which is his birthday, I think.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Okay, I don't want to I was trying to come off like I knew that, but then I wasn't sure. At Cumble Theater on Long Island University, Brooklyn campus, and that's like a great charity you do. It's movingmountainsnyc.org.
Yeah.
Which is we've done the paintball shoots for that. And, it's good because it helps kids get into acting instead of bad stuff.
And I tell you, we have some extraordinary talent up there. And that, for me, that's going to be, that's the journey right there to help them develop their own careers.
Right.
In the arts.
I want to come and I want to be in one of the plays, but I want to make the big speech at the end that gets the slow clap. That's what I want to do. I want to get the slow clap from everybody. I think we
all want a slow clap.
We all want a slow clap
in our lives.
Yeah. So right on.
Yeah. Jamie Hector, always a pleasure, brother.
Always a pleasure, brother. Thanks for having me.
I think we're wrapping up.
Yes.
Everyone go well, let's get Florentine, definitely.
This Thursday to Sunday, Laughing Skull, Atlanta, Georgia. Next weekend, January 24, 25, Laughing Comedy Cafe, Fort Myers, Florida. And today, my new podcast, Comedy Metal Midgets, Tyson Walter, former NFL player.
Yeah, it's going to be a good listen today. You good, Jimmy? Or?
Foxwoods Theaters, February 13th in Connecticut, and then Super Bowl weekend, I'm in Tempe, Arizona, doing the Improv the 30th and 31st.
Nice.
And then just that Oz Fiesta gig in Mexico, May 31st to June. May 20, whenever. And then May. Go to OzFiesta.com.
And we're going to end with your pal's band. People are excited. I checked my Twitter real fast. Like, holy shit, yeah, you got to play these guys.
Yeah, Blackberry Smoke.
Blackberry Smoke. What song you want to play?
Pretty Little Lie is one of their singles off the last record.
Do you have that, E-Rock?
1 second.
We have one more plug.
Yes, go ahead, Jamie.
And also, I've been fortunate that you guys can catch me on The Strain. That's with Guillermo del Toro in Toronto, and The Strain, Power, and Persons of Interest.
Okay,
reoccurring on all of those. It's gonna be a great year.
Wow, yeah,
congratulations.
You're rolling. You find that, Eric?
Yep.
Okay, what is it again?
Blackberry Smoke, Pretty Little Lie.
All right, let's check this out. Florentine's pick today.